CA stream. I'm your host today, Matthias, also known as Matthias, and today I'm joined by Theo, the Holy Juan. And how are you doing today?
Doing well today. We have a great matchup on our hands today. It's going to be League of Legends action. It's one of the first best of fives we've seen this entire season. That's how you know we're deep into the season. It's going to be the semifinals of ECAC, and it's going to be our Saints Academy team taking on Purdue Gold. It's going to be an exciting matchup today.
It's going to be a very exciting matchup. Just to go over everything, all the lovely information you want to know at home, this is the Division A in the semifinals. Right now, Purdue University Gold is currently 7-1, only losing to George Washington Revolutionaries, and that is a feat indeed with all these competitive teams. I mean, we can take a look at the bracket right here. Look at that. Look at that run. Purdue University Black, also another team in League of Legends, having an absolutely amazing run. They are doing a great job. They're currently on the other side of the bracket. Meanwhile, Gold just absolutely going in. Now, the Saints have made it here. They're going up against Gold. They might even face a double Purdue fight going up against Black.
Yeah, and you could see they beat GW Revolutionary 2-0 in their first round matchup. So, maybe St. Clair have hit a bit of a hot streak, and they're ready to go in these playoffs. They won their first series 2-0. And as you said, statistically wise, you look at the numbers, might say, Purdue should be the favorite here. But St. Clair, they've been playing very well as of late, and that momentum is definitely going to translate.
Yeah, I definitely think it will. Let's go over the Saints' record to know what their journey has been like to get to this point. Right now, they're currently 5-3. They have 3 losses, which is a little bit uncharacteristic of the Saints when it comes time to time, but it seems like they've learned a lot from those mistakes. They have played against Purdue's other teams. They lost to Purdue Black last time they played, but they did win against Purdue's club team, so they have a little bit of experience. Maybe Purdue Gold's going to be in the middle in terms of seeding, but we'll all see how that ends up today.
Yeah, and it is a best-of-5 series. When you play League of Legends, usually it's a best-of-3 series for most of the season, and then now it comes down to crunch time. Is these best-of-5s maybe not something either team has really practiced too much, and draft is going to be an important thing. If it goes all 5 games, you have some secret tricks up your sleeve in Game 5 that could definitely be a difference. But, definitely got to take it one game at a time. It's expected to be a long series between 2 pretty even teams, so definitely not expecting a 3-0 from either team today.
Me either. One thing I do want to point out is, while we are past Worlds, I feel like that's even more exciting of a patch. They try and put everything that's a little bit more broken back in, so we're going to have some absolutely crazy games in store. Of course, I don't think Mbessa, the new champion, is in play just yet, but as soon as that's possible, it's the first day legal. I'm just getting information from Prod that Mbessa is now legal. That's going to be banned for sure. If that doesn't get banned and doesn't get picked, I'll be very surprised.
I seen it, and there's a very, very strong champion, and it's not banned just yet. Have some hope here, Matthias. I'll be down to see it. A big question about that champ was, is it going to be viable in pro? Is it just a strong solo queue pick that just gets you through there? Purdue, they are having some interesting bans here. They're getting rid of Akshan and it's going to be Karthus in the jungle, and St. Clair on the blue side. They're going to ban out Oriana, the Gragas, and let's take a look at what they want to ban out next. Samira, I don't know if that's the best ban. Draven, a little bit stronger, will get taken down here. And Jinx can be banned from Purdue, wow. So, Ambessa makes it through the draft. As you said, you would want to see it. Now, let's see if we actually do.
I'd want to see it as well. You can even play Ambessa jungler. It doesn't have the fastest first clear, but once that gets going, it is absolutely hard to stop because Ambessa just has so much movement and dash after every ability. It's insane. Yasuo, what is he? He gets a dash off of minions. You can just do it wherever, whenever on the map, as long as there's an enemy nearby. I would be maybe they don't know. It's going to be a Skarner first pick. That's an interesting pick.
Even though Ambessa is in the game, there's still a lot of champs that are the regulars that are very, very strong, and it's going to be Skarner. Picked up for St. Clair. Purdue really quickly. Pick up the Yone Ivern. They definitely have a set game plan, and looks to be with a support enchanter in the jungle. Ambessa is being hovered right now by St. Clair. It's a champ that does well into both Ivern and Yone, able to catch Ivern with all the dashes, and see if it will be picked up. But it's going to be probably blind at top, so Purdue will have a decent counter. But let's see, isn't Mbessa just that strong? Can you lock it in?
I think so.
Looks like that's going to be the case. Mbessa locked in for the Saints.
And now I'm very excited to see how this game goes. Of course, I think that Skarner is obviously going to be jungle. Mbessa going to be that top laner. Probably maybe going up against the Yone. I know Yone can be flexed mid or top, but you have so many gap closers on that Mbessa that the little disconnect, the disjoint from Yone doesn't matter all too much. Of course, if they pick up the Caitlyn as well, I think this is looking to be a star-studded team. I mean, Caitlyn, one of the best bot laners at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting pick. You know, you go Mbessa, Skarner, kind of dive backline heavy, trying to eliminate their backline. But Caitlyn is a very safe champion, and with a lot of space can do a lot of work. It looks like the Yone will be going mid. The Renekton going to be picked up by Purdue. I mean, they have very strong 2v2s in the mid jungle and top lane 3v3 skirmishes. So Purdue's win con is going to be early game, trying to get those grubs this game, and they want to fight around that top side for sure.
Yeah, they got to try and play around the top side for sure. Renekton able to try and keep up with Mbessa, but still Mbessa just absolutely way too speedy. The Samira ban is an interesting pick. I mean, got to ban out whatever you're not comfortable with in the bot lane at that point, especially if you're playing Caitlyn. You don't want to be jumped on and spun on by a Samira. The Syndra ban from Purdue, just banning out those mid laners. Now, what is going to be St. Clair's last pick? Or last ban, I should say.
Yeah, they're taking some time to think about this. I mean, pretty interesting bans from both sides, not maybe something you see too often. I mean, an Akshan ban is definitely not something I'm used to seeing. Corki going to be banned out. Is relatively strong in that bot lane, so not something you want to go up against. Can poke out the Caitlyn a little bit with that ultimate as well. So not a bad ban here, as now Purdue look to lock in their fourth pick here. Is it going to be either ADC or support? Let's take a look. It's going to be Ashe from the look of things here. A very strong ADC, good with a lot of team comps, very good with Ivern. So very strong pickup here for Purdue.
Yeah, Ashe just another solid backbone of a character. And then the Jace pick.
Whoa.
Jace mid, I would guess.
Into Yone.
An interesting pick. I mean, you do probably want some AP on the team if you can get it. You don't really have that. Want some magic damage. Actually, wait, no, he's AD.
He's AD.
Never mind. So their team is looking like all AD at the moment.
Yeah.
Which they're going to have to watch out for that armor.
I mean, it's not a big deal because there's no real tank on the side of Purdue. They have Ivern in the jungle, who's not really tanky. Yone, not really tanky. Renekton can be tanky, but like you get a CC on him, you can kill him pretty quickly. And I'm definitely expecting Purdue to go for a real tank here in support. I think if they go for an enchanter, something spicy like that, it will hurt them. Leona, probably the best support overall. Can pick it in any team comp. It'll be good no matter what. Will be picked up here for St. Clair.
Yeah, now we're down on the support. So that's going to be an Ivern jungle most likely.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I like the Leona pickup, though. You definitely want some engage with all those heavy hitters, all those heavy hitter melee champs like Skarner and Mbessa. You can kind of drag them in, stun them up, lock them down. Seems to be the game plan they're going for. But now Purdue really taking their time for this last pick. And it's going to be a Thresh. You know, a classic.
Interesting.
very, very consistent. But I don't know how I feel about that with the Ashe.
It's an interesting pick. I mean, it gives you kiting potential, which is kind of what they need in this team comp. So a Thresh pick, I think, is good in these circumstances. But hey, it's gonna be interesting. We haven't seen Mbessa in pro play ever anytime. So it's the first look we'll see of it at the highest level, and I think it's definitely gonna be a big X factor in this team comp.
And I'm very curious about the Jace pick right
now.
now.
That too.
I don't know if I have been playing the game competitively a little bit as of late. I don't think Jace is in the best spot. He's a bit of a mid-tier champ. He's pretty good if you know how to play him. I wonder if this is just arcane hype.
I mean, it could be that.
New skin,
it could
new
just be.
legendary.
It could be matchup dependent. Maybe the Jace is just very good into the Yone, which is definitely probably the case. I mean, you have the ranged auto attack, so that's good. You can fight up close with your melee attacks as well, and it's a just a good lane champ. But yeah, if Jace falls behind early, it's hard for him to come back online.
You can try and outpoke the Yone there. Yone has a little bit of a longer cooldown on that disconnect.
Yeah.
But The acceleration gate, you can kind of just spam E and Q with the range Jace and try and keep him at bay, poke him, punish him for going in at all. But honestly, this is a very interesting comp on the side of St. Clair. It's looking to be very explosive, very fun to watch. But on the side of Purdue, it's much more the classics, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, Purdue have a beautiful front to back. They have the Ash to kite, the Thresh to kite, the Ivern to kite, and then it's going to be the Renekton and Yone kind of trying to set the plays up, but without a real form of engage. Like Thresh is an engaged champion, kind of. He's kind of more played because of his Lantern. You can save a teammate, which is so valuable. But they have a bit of engage with Yone and Renekton. But Renekton, once he uses that first combo, if they don't kill like the target immediately, the fight's gonna be rough for them because then the Renekton's gonna get run down and taken down.
Exactly. And I wonder, one thing I'd like to see is what summoner spells they're going to be using. We've had such a barrier-based meta in the ADC lane. I wonder if there's going to be any switch up
Should
there.
be a cleanse.
Of course, I was running Ghost there for a little bit.
That's an interesting
I'm
pick.
joking around.
I think Cleanse is going to be played by Ash.
I think so, especially with
Leona?
all that. Leona. Even, there's just a lot there that you don't want to have to deal with.
And the Caitlyn, I think, will have barrier.
I think so, yeah. Definitely.
I don't know.
But we will see after a very quick break. We're going to send it over to that, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. In the game on the Summoner's Rift, St. Clair Academy versus Purdue Gold. Badrick Grimes here in the mid lane, just poking, teasing a little bit. Gonna take some damage though.
Yeah, I'm gonna reset. Minions haven't spawned yet. Not a big deal there. And let's take a look at...
Am I seeing this correctly? Sorry, it looks like it's Ambessa mid, Jace top.
Yeah, that could be a possibility. Ambessa into Yone. Not a bad matchup. So, yeah, that is correct. You spot that one out well. And they decide to play the Jace into Renekton. I don't know about that one. That's a good matchup, but like, Renekton will be pretty useful if he ever gets a gank. It's a pretty easy kill on that Jace. But take a look at the lineups. It's gonna be Nagin, Rick Grimes, Codito, Creator So, and M. Roddy for the side of the Saints. And on the side of Purdue Gold, it's gonna be Phantom, Eugene, AZ1, Gumayuskui, and Saka.
It's going to be a pretty stacked team on both sides here. I'm excited to see how this one goes down. So far, of course, we just started. It's relatively even. The jungler, though, definitely had to take a little bit of a back step there. Badrick Grimes having to get that little bit of health back already. Jace winning the level 1 wave control right now. Going to get pushed on quite a bit, and that hammer not going to get too much util until you can get to that level 2, maybe get that knockback going.
Yeah, it did a lot of damage to that Renekton, though. Gonna have him at half HP. Good early game trades from the top laner for the Saints here. And bot lane is going to be Purdue with the early prio. I mean, Ashe, very strong early game, has to definitely be respected. The slows on those auto attacks are just so brutal and can really get you down to low HP. Both wards, we invested into that one bush. That's interesting there from both teams. Now the junglers will have a bit more vision to play around and look for the ganks. But it looks like both junglers going for a full clear, so we won't be seeing any level 3 shenanigans.
Like it right now. Top's winning the wave push. Cogito going in, getting a little bit of trade damage, but I feel like Ambessa in this matchup is going to be relatively tough until you can get all those dashes in there. I mean, we are at the level 3 point, but it's definitely not going to be the easiest matchup to play. But now Jace might win this one, and he does get the stun, and he gets out. Skarner there just as backup insurance in case that went wrong. Nevertheless, they're looking very good. Mr. Audi not looking too great, though. 3 of them here. The level 4 gank from Ivern is absolutely brutal.
It's good. Let's see how they decide to play this one. Will this Leona get any ability off before she dies? No, that doesn't look to be the case. It won't be traded 1-for-1. Cleanse comes out from Caitlyn to not die, but the redive should be looking to come through. At the end of the day, it is a 1-for-1. A good answer from Purdue, but St. Clair know that enemy jungler is bot because their jungler just top, didn't see anything, and we're gonna see a pause coming through. Not too sure why that's the case. I mean, everything seemed to play out relatively well there in both of those team fights, but pause coming through. What do you think about the game so far?
I think it's looking pretty good. We got a nice little parallel weird thing going on there. We're tops winning for St. Clair, bottoms having a little bit of a rougher time. I mean, you only lost the support. At least the ADC is still there, getting some levels, getting the points where it matters. And for this exact situation, I have written down some fun facts about Purdue.
Yeah.
Because I know collegiate, there's always time for stoppages. There's always some tech pauses. You know, it's not tier 1 just yet. I mean, the games are just as good, but we're just still working on a few things. Yeah. But, you know, what we aren't working on is some Purdue fun facts, so let's get right over to that. So, fun fact, Purdue had the first astronaut, Neil Armstrong, and the last astronaut, Eugene Cernan. They both attended Purdue, fun fact. And they also have the big bass drum, which is, they claim, the world's largest drum. It's 8 feet, over 8 feet in diameter. That's pretty big. That's taller than I am.
It's a large drum.
It's almost, I almost said almost twice as tall, but no, I'm not 4 feet tall.
Not 4 feet
a little under that. And it's from 1921. It has the original frame crafted in 1921. Damn. So over 100-year-old giant drum. That's cool. What they got going on over there. And I also know Purdue because I use their citation engine from time to time. It really is very concise. You find your sources. It helps you format it in the right way. It doesn't do all the work for you, but it just helps guide you in the right direction.
I mean, those are some good fun facts. The astronaut one is pretty cool. I mean, you have 2 people who've gone to space.
To the moon.
To the moon from your school. I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Speaking of, maybe that's why the logo's the moon. I just realized that.
Maybe.
It was like the moon and the top of the college. See right there? But they're not on the moon quite yet. They're not over the moon here in League of Legends. It's pretty even across the board. They're up 100 gold or so. But nevertheless, things are at an absolute standstill.
Yeah, I mean, Jace is definitely very far ahead of the Renekton here, and the game is right back online. Had a bit of a pause there, unfortunately, as the nice trade comes in from the mid laner Eugene here. Onto Codito. This Jace has a very good freeze as well. I was going to add on this Renekton. It's going to be hard for this Renekton to walk up for these last hits. It's definitely a power position for the Saints. You can see Phantom trying to find the trade, but Naga will get some autos off, does play aggressively, gets the level up, and that should lead to the solo kill. Nagan doing a great job here, winning his team the game up in top lane.
Exactly. And that's not what you want to do when you're up against a Jace. Jace is the strong... I don't say the strongest champion, but much stronger than your champion up until that level 6 point.
Yeah.
Jace doesn't have an ultimate.
Yeah.
You have 6 moves.
Yeah.
So you have a big advantage on your opponent until that level 6 mark. So Renekton giving over that early advantage is definitely going to hurt later on.
Absolutely, Matthias. You got it spot on, and it's a big advantage now up in that top lane.
Yeah,
Renekton had no TP.
No TP. Mid lane looking relatively even. The Mbessa just a little bit down on the CS in terms against Yone. But still, Yone not going to be able to get a kill too easily. The movement's just a little bit too strong for Mbessa.
Yeah, it seems like Codito isn't playing this early game too aggressively. Do get a nice little chunk of damage there from the Skarner. Ivern is here to answer. Does negate a little bit of that damage with the shield there. And ball lane, the wave is not crashing, but it's bouncing back towards the Saints. So they're just going to sit down there, collect that wave. But on that timer, that's kind of timers for Purdue to do the Dragon. But Ivern's top lane, he isn't down in this ball lane just yet. It's going to be Bad Rig Rhymes starting up the Grubs here. Are we going to see a mid-game 3v3 here up in this top lane? I mean, this Jace is way stronger than this Renekton. If I'm on Purdue, I'm definitely choosing to drop these Grubs and trade play for the Dragon.
Definitely you want to try and get that Grubs right away. They might even have enough time to run all the way down to maybe contest Dragon, but with how bot lane is looking, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, and St. Clair should look to 3-man dive this Renekton here on this wave. Very surprised that they didn't choose to do that. Naga doesn't have much mana, and killing a Renekton on this wave would be so big, but they're just a little bit too slow. They will not make that play. Purdue, in the meantime, will get this Dragon completely for free. St. Clair has to sit back and farm this wave under their tower.
Just farm the wave, getting that XP that you need. You gotta play safe. You just don't want to give over any more kills here. You want to try and maintain any semblance of a lead that you have. That Renekton, though, getting poked out, getting pretty low here. Just one more accelerated Q or 2 would spell the end, give 3 kills over to Jace.
But the thing is, Nagin has no mana left, and this Renekton has flash, has ult. If the Jace disrespects him for just 1 second, he will get killed very quickly. So it's definitely Phantom right now who has a bit of a small timer to make a play happen, while there's not a lot of mana left on this Jace, but has to pull the trigger early, otherwise the lead is going to continue to grow.
Right now, I think Purdue has them beat in the mid and bot lane in terms of wave control, but St. Clair gonna rely on Noggin here to try and keep this lead topside. That's what they're playing for.
And they got the 6 grubs off of that play. The 3 grubs, sorry, off of that play. Gonna play for the 6 grubs as soon as it's up. And with this Jace top lead, I mean, that's definitely gonna be a good play for St. Clair. Jace gonna back in the and actually gonna cancel the back to look for a bit more damage on this Renekton. He doesn't have TP, so he does not want to miss any minions here. But he might look for a one-on-one trade. This Renekton, if he uses those abilities on the wave up in that top lane, that will be a kill for the Jace. And it's going to start off here. The ultimate from Renekton, though, is very strong. Will the Jace have enough health and mana to find the solo kill? In the meantime, there's going to be a Skarner ult coming down in the ball lane. A lot of damage coming down left and right. The ultimate from Kaylin will land on to the Thresh here. Nobody died in the top lane, and now this Ivern playing very aggressively. If one stun hits on this Ivern, that's going to be a kill. There's Bad Ray Grimes forcing out the flash. A great team fight there from the Saints.
Absolutely amazing team fight. You can definitely tell some of these lanes are beginning to snowball. The jungler on the side of Sinclair just doing absolute God's work. Her Bad Ray Grimes keeping things looking good for all these lanes, providing support where it needs. Right now the bot lane needed that support, and now they have evened out quite a bit. They can definitely pick this one back.
Yeah, Sinclair, I mean, their Caitlyn is going to be feeling very good after picking up that kill, and good job from Sinclair. As now, next big objective is going to be those grubs. Codito taking a poor trade here from that Yone. Will be forced to back soon. Doesn't have that teleport though, so might miss some minions here. Yone looking to back as well. I don't think either of them are going to back once they spot each other out. Yeah, Yone chooses to stay here. Knows that there is a Skarner here. Mbessa looking maybe for an ult here onto this Ivern. No, it's just going to be Bad Ray Grimes. It drives him into the wall, but has to flash early. Dodges out the Q, which will keep him alive for the time being. Thresh is up here. It looks like Purdue Gold are going to be the one fighting for these grubs.
And now you're going for another fight, and I don't know why Renekton's even getting close to these, because you're not going to win them this deep in. I mean, Jace already has Eclipse built, and you're not going to break through that very easily. And now looking at the overall state of the game, Sinclair really starting to snowball this one. Ivern trying to keep up with this Jace, but you're not going to. Nagan going to even jump in, try and get another kill on top of this, but eats too many tower shots, and what are you doing? You just gave 500 gold over to the Ivern.
Yeah, not the best play there from Naga. Definitely got a bit overconfident. And in the ball lane, this can be confidence coming out from Purdue. They find an easy kill here. Can Kaylin find this trade? Will be able to get it, but is gonna die, I believe. In the meantime, I mean, a 2-for-1 down in ball lane for Purdue. It's a huge play by that Ashe and Thresh, and it's gonna be Purdue Guinness now in the lead.
Yeah, Purdue is just turning the whole game on its head right there. A little bit too much aggression from the Saints right before I think they were starting to get a very cemented lead. Right now, though, Nagan still able to duelist Renekton. A little bit of false confidence from that one death. You didn't get that gold, Renekton. It's going to be going over to that Ivern. But still, big stun. If that was under tower, that would have spelled the end. Going to have to force it back there.
But Nagan did use his flash here. In the meantime, there's going to be a play onto mid. Yone will be forced to use that ultimate. Has the flash. Sinclair need to make sure they don't overcommit here. They do get the Yone ultimate out. For the Leon ultimate, they get too aggressive. They knew that the Thresh was not in base anymore, and he just runs towards that player there, picks up that kill. Another kill for Purdue, as now they're the ones pushing their advantage.
Exactly, Purdue, they're playing it patient, playing the long game here, and it's definitely working out in their favor. This Yone, this whole time, has just been focusing on the waves, on the CS, and it's paying dividends. Now Codito here, still just struggling to keep up with the clear, because that's one thing Mbessa doesn't have, is enough clear to compete with Yone.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to compete, but still, Sinclair are trying to compete. They're going to be giving over this second dragon, and I believe it was Purdue who got the grubs as well. As actually, it's going to be Sinclair choosing to contest this one. Bad Ray Grimes gets into the pit, suppresses two. Can Sinclair find any damage on the follow-up? There's the Mbessa on the Yone, trying to force out the flash. The kill's just going to come through. The dragon's in Sinclair's favor. Ashe is going to get stunned up, doesn't have that cleanse, will get taken down. The Skarner unfortunately does take the shutdown, but a great team fight from the Saints. They get that dragon, they get a couple kills, and they put themselves back in the lead.
Back in the lead, back on the map with a dragon in tow. St. Clair 6 grubs up, looking relatively good for the long game. And now Nagan struggling to take these trades with Renekton a little bit now. I mean, the damage is not looking very even. Renekton much more here.
Yeah, Renekton has those steel caps.
Wow.
And there's a trade in mid lane. Mbessa with 1,000,000 dashes. A Yone champ that just won't get much done here. Look at the spacing here from Noggin. It's an extra 2 or 3 autos in there. Beautifully played there as a dodge comes through. Gonna look for the 1-on-1 here. Codito, does he know that there is a Ivern in mid lane? Doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. The Ambessa is able to live, but Redemption used, ultimate used by that Yone. It's a great trade again for St. Clair, as Kaylin is gonna be the one to tank this, and this is gonna be a double kill going over to Purdue Gold.
Going over to Purdue Gold. Mr. Audi going to be taken out as well. Double kill going over to the Ash. Right now we're in the top lane. Nagin's dead once again. That's going to be going over to Renekton, getting the first kill on the board, and that's looking to be a little bit worrisome. They have the Boots Rush as well. Going to be able to get back to that lane in no time.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Jace. Yeah, you win lane, you get those kills, but one gank from Ivern, you get slowed up, you get stunned by the Renekton ever, you die. And that's exactly what happened there.
And it's looking like Saints might lose bot tower before the plates even fall. And if that happens, that's so much gold and so much pressure going over to Purdue Gold.
Yeah, luckily now though, 14 minutes, a little gold missed out there by Purdue, but Saints going to be happy that's the case. I mean, just off those 3 kills, it was Purdue able to get a 3,000 gold lead. And they're doing a great job of finding advantages left and right. It's going to be Ivor now, who has a shutdown, but somehow 2 members of the Saints have a shutdown, even though they're down 2k gold. That doesn't add up there. And you know, it's interesting. They have some strong members. I mean, Ambessa has that Eclipse, Garner has the Heartsteel, and the Caitlyn has that Yoon Tal. Is gonna get it nice and early and try stacking it up.
Yeah, this is looking to be pretty good on the side of Purdue Gold. I mean, Nagin really chipping out that tower damage, trying to take that one out. Especially if they can get this Rift Herald here, it would be absolutely amazing for the Saints.
And they do pick it up in the end. Enemy Ashe is up 2 levels on this Caitlyn. I mean, that is a huge advantage Purdue. Just because of that fact, definitely have a big advantage in these team fights. Nagin gonna take some damage. Bad Rig Rhymes flying in, cannot stop the ult, but does find the suppressed TPs coming through. I don't think they have the damage to kill this Yone, but they're gonna look to do so. Couple more autos will do the trick, won't find it, and now the rest of Purdue are here. It's a great answer for them. They're gonna pick up a couple kills for themselves as St. Clair gonna drop.
St. Clair really getting hard punished there for their overextension. I mean,
that might be it.
You got tunnel vision in on that Yone, and it was not worth it. What do you get out of killing him? He doesn't even have a bounty at that point. You want to maybe proud the Ashe instead. Then I could understand going so hard for that, but for the 100 gold, I don't think that was quite the move. Right now, they're going to lose a tower for that as well. That is an absolute major misstep by the Saints, and Purdue Gold playing it perfectly.
Yeah, St. Clair get a couple towers themselves, but you lose a couple members. Both kills go on the Ashe. She's going to have that second item in base now, and that is a big problem for St. Clair. This Ashe is going to be very hard to kill with the champs that she has by her side, and the fact that she's so fed, I mean, I don't see how St. Clair can really shut her down.
Yeah, I don't see any universe in which the Saints can take that fight in a 1v1 fashion. They can maybe try and take a team fight, but as long as that Thresh gives her some peel, some distance there, it'll be pretty. This Yone going in, getting a little bit of damage, getting out. That's Yone's MO. Currently this Ambessa dueling with the Renekton in the bot lane. I'm curious to see how this one plays out. Should be in the Ambessa's favor, I would guess, but no, the stun comes through, but you never know. Ambessa always does so much damage to the minions chipping away. Phantom, even though he has the minions, has the advantage, has to back out.
Yeah, there is the Skarner in the ball lane. The ult gonna come through. No flash on this Renekton. Has the redemption, has the ult. Might look to even trade this 1-for-1, but I think he forgot about the fact Ambessa has a huge shield on her W. Renekton, though, staying alive for so long, finds the 1v2. Ivern is here for the backup, and St. Clair, their power positions now have no more power. It's gonna be Purdue now looking to blow this game wide open.
Yeah, not everyone, but 3 players building Eclipse on this game. That's how you know maybe the item needs to be tuned a little bit. Eclipse looking absolutely brutal here on the Rift. Right now, the Saints looking a little bit far behind. It's starting to move in not their favor. I mean, they're 5 kills down, and it's not looking too great. They're still 4k gold down in the hole, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of goal to be down at 17 minutes, and the way that Purdue's team comp works, it just makes team fighting so easy. We have your engage Renekton, who is now kind of going to be fed even though the Jace is fed too, he can't do what Renekton does. He can't stay alive for a bit longer, force out more cooldowns. He can do more damage, Jace, but the damage I don't think is going to be a problem for St. Clair. I think getting on top of this Ashe is kind of going to be their big problem. As long as Ashe is alive in these team fights, there's nothing St. Clair could do to win it.
There's not much they can do at this point. They're just playing for objectives, playing to stop the bleeding at this point and try and turn things around just a little bit in the micro. Try and wait for Purdue to make a slip up, get a little bit too aggressive, but with how patient and how excruciatingly patient they've been playing, I don't think the Saints are going to find that.
Yeah, Purdue have played this matchup very well so far, and deservingly they have a very, very comfortable gold lead. They have 2 dragons. They have a win condition. It is going to be Chemtech Soul though. Probably the worst soul in the game. Let's just say how it is. And you know, it's definitely still strong, especially with an Ivern. It's definitely very, very good. Definitely better on the Saints, on Purdue than it is on the Saints. But I mean, St. Clair might be a bit fortunate that the Dragon isn't really too good and can affect them too much. Still, this Renekton gonna look for the solo kill on this Jace. There's the Skarner though. The flash comes through, the W auto. One more Q, that Jace will die, but no! Skarner there just in time. Jace with a good amount of damage to get the finish. That's another kill for the Saints.
Very good flip that Jace might be able to get themselves back in this game, get back that advantage they had over Renekton. Now, there's a skirmish in mid, Thresh fishing with those hooks. Not going to find much to catch though. Ivern going to pop that ult, eat those tower shots. They're going to continue to try just to hammer in on this turret. Where is that rift going? That rift is going to be going down the bot lane, but there's no wave pushed up. That's a little bit of an awkward use. Maybe it's a last-ditch effort at this point. Running out of time. Big skirmish, big Yone ult as well. 2 big ults back-to-back. Right now, the Saints looking a little bit low for comfort. That's not going to be good. They're going in on the fight anyways. It's not going to turn very well for them. Double kill going over to Ashe. Maybe even a triple at that point. It goes over to Yone. 3 players down on the Saints. Only 2 remaining. Those 2 aren't enough to carry this.
I mean, this doesn't even look close. I mean, the Purdue are just annihilating them. They have the Iron, they have the Ashe. So much sustain. The long fights definitely favor them. And as soon as St. Clair used their initial engage and they didn't find all the kills, they fall apart. Purdue just has their Ashe, has their Ivern, able to stay alive, picks up the kills needed. Free Baron goes over in their favor as well. This goalie is about a balloon.
It's about to balloon, and I think it might about pop and blow this game wide open. The Baron whittled away by Purdue. It's definitely going to be taken. There it is. And I don't even think that the Rift Herald got a slam in there.
No,
might have wanted. Not to be a micromanager here, but I think maybe the play, if you could have drifted it from that bot lane jungle, drifted it into that team fight, that would have made an absolutely amazing entrance for Patrick Grimes.
It would have been definitely an interesting play. Get on top of the Ashe with the Rift Herald. I mean, it's risky, but
it was a risky play nonetheless. They went in with no surprise.
They did nothing with that play balling. They just wasted the Rift for no reason, and it's unfortunate in this scenario. And now it's going to be just a push mid coming out from Purdue Gold. They're going to take these towers slowly, one by one, and as they look to blow up the map.
Looking to absolutely take this one. I mean, all 3 initial towers down. They're closing in on the Saints. That hook was just for good measure, just to annoy Patrick Grimes at that point. Didn't find all too much value. But right now, we're gearing up for the next dragon in a minute. Purdue, while the Chemtech Soul isn't very good, they definitely want to lock down the souls and prevent Saints from getting any more advantages.
Absolutely, and now it's going to be in the top lane, the Yone. And you find a 1-on-1 with Codito here, and the Yone with Blade the Ruin King. I mean, look how much damage he does there. Ivern picks up the Magi's Soul Stealer here, and it's going to be looking to get as many stacks as possible here, as we are going to have a lot of shutdowns now for Purdue. St. Clair gonna have to find these kills if they want to come back. Thresh gonna flash in, get the hook onto the Ivern, but that's not the target they want to lock down. Just a bit of poke coming through, but in the meantime, they're gonna be pushing in top lane as well. I mean, look how easily set up Purdue is. They're doing so much poke to St. Clair, nothing is coming back in return because of the Ivern. I mean, it's gonna be a slow, but it's going to be death for St. Clair sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like sooner. They're really focusing on this mid point. They just want to take this mid tower, and also with the rift buff, there's nothing the Saints can do to stop that one from falling. They protect the cannon minion, just going to keep slamming that one home. Now if we move over to the bot lane, Renekton closing in top lane. Yone going to have to back after that Mbessa push. Wins that team fight, but nevertheless, the Saints not looking too good. Look at that gold differential up at the top. That is almost a 10k gold difference.
And it's only going to keep going up. Ball lane tier 2 will go down as well. I mean, Purdue did a great job wearing purple here. Got a lot of objectives, which is the ideal Baron play here. Now they're going to rotate over to the dragon, pick up the third dragon, put themselves on soul point, and then give St. Clair 5 minutes to make some miracles.
Yep, 5 minutes. That is the question. They're going to clean up this next dragon in no time at all. The Saints can't even go for a Hail Mary steal at that point. I mean, why would you? Just go in and die in 2 seconds if you didn't hit the smite. Nevertheless, 1 point away from Soul. We're probably quite a whiles away from Elder Dragon. Nevertheless, the Saints in a very dire situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they can do to win this game, if I'm going to be honest. When you're down this much gold with kind of the team comp you have compared to the opponents, you don't really outscale. It's not like you can stall the game out for 50 minutes and then you guys are way stronger and win the team fight. That's just not the case here with these team comps. Purdue should definitely be able to close this game out on the next Baron, but St. Clair will try their best. They have a Jace who was so far ahead. Now you take a look at the items. He's kind of even with that Renekton, so they went for that power pick with the Jace and it just has not worked out for them just in this game because Renekton has been able to get as much, if not more, value in these team fights.
A lot of value here. That brush being absolutely annoying. I mean, Ivern getting full use right there. The Saints unable to play against Purdue's poke. Absolutely just aggravating to play against at this point. That Thresh just fishing for a hook, waiting for one of the Saints to overextend, and one of those hooks are bound to land at this point. They're just trying to hammer in on this top lane. Renekton skirmishing with the Jace in that bottom, but I feel we're in for an absolutely massive team fight here top.
Yeah, it's going to be 4-on-4 up in this top lane. Let's see what goes down. Eugene going to drop that ult and hits the Leona. This Leona, she won't be able to move for a while. The CC chain is absolutely brutal. Renekton TP's in. Badrick Grimes tries to get something down on this corner. Renekton going to be the first one to fall, actually. Badrick Grimes lived for quite a while there. Codito tries getting something done in this backline, but this Ashe Ivern can get so much work done. It's going to be a 4-4-1. All up to the Jays to stop Purdue from ending the game.
Yeah, and now it's not looking too good. Another turret falls, another pad position for the Saints. I mean, they have some bounties, but at this point, I don't think they're even close to claiming any of them. Top tower gonna fall right down to dust, but it's not quite actually. It's gonna hang on. It's got a few dust particles left. A hook goes out. That's just gonna buy them some space. There's the tower crumbling down. It looks like they're going to go for their first inhibitor. Get that very low. Will they get it in time? No, they're going to keep it. Oh, minions clean it up.
They got it.
I didn't see the 2 minions there hammering away.
Yeah, and it's going to be Purdue with a 10,001. 11,000. I mean, it just keeps going. Such a huge gold lead here for Purdue. You can see the Ashe now has 3 items working towards that GA. Yone is going to be on 3 items. Ivern trying to get to 3 items as well, but has the Magi's on 18 stacks. This is kind of where you're like, look up at St. Clair and say, guys, how do we win this game? How do we win some team fights? The short answer is there's no real way to win team fights at this point in the game. Ivern's on 3 items, 18 stacks on the Magi's. I mean, he's just, those shields are going to negate all the damage St. Clair trying to do with their 2-item power spikes. I mean, Jace, the only one with any real firepower.
Yeah, and even at that point, I don't even know if the Jace has all too much. I mean, you're playing maybe for the Caitlyn, but still, both of them will have to hammer in on one of these characters to try and take them down, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point. I mean, there's always room for hope. You can maybe go for an Elder Dragon steal, but I have a feeling Purdue gonna try and drag this out for as long as possible and then just swoop in for the kill once these key objectives are up, and the Saints not even able to contest Baron.
Yeah, I mean, if they do try and contest this, there is no good way this answers. They do go in very quickly. 3-man Iron Suppress. This is where you're going to see the damage is lacking for St. Clair. Full HP bars for the side of Purdue Gold. I mean, not even close. They hit the 3-man Skarner ult.
No, the
They hit
Ash ult.
everything they could want. The Ash ult lands on the Jace. And this should be all she wrote. A clean ace for Purdue. A very dominant game 1 performance from them.
Yeah, there's some Ban Baron at that point. I mean, the kill timers on the Saints are absolutely brutal, almost a minute each. And now the closest ones are 20 seconds, so that's more than enough time for them to get in there, break a tower or two, and then just rinse and repeat this situation. The Saints have to contest this Baron because that's going to spell doom for them. But if they go for it, it's not going to be too great. I mean, yeah, the game's over at this one. I'm just saying somehow maybe the Leona and Caitlyn can maybe kill the entire team, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen there. A very, very good performance from Purdue Gold, and showing why they had that 7-1 record. A great game from them. They played around the Ivern perfectly. They let all of their champions use their utility perfectly, so piloted greatly. The team comp was played well, the positioning was well, and even though St. Clair did find a bit of success early game, I mean, the Jace should not kill the Renekton 3 times, so if there's one thing to improve for Purdue, that top lane, you just have to relax a little bit, know your team comp, know you guys win 4v4, 5v5, just don't go for those silly deaths. But other than that, Purdue played a very flawless game.
I don't know. Yeah, silly deaths is a weird way to put it, but yeah, they just got too aggressive there. They had a very firm lead at some point. It looked like they're going to blow this game wide open. Nothing's going to stop them. But lo and behold, if you overextend there, you die once, twice, 3 times, they get the evening out. Purdue knows how to press the advantage, and they know to have the patience to just wait for the slip-ups, and that's what League is all about. I've been playing a little bit of ranked myself, and I'm noticing that's the games that you lose. When you overextend, you go for a kill that you shouldn't go for. That's when it all ends up snowballing. And one interesting thing I want to say about the draft before we move on to a break and wait for the next one is both teams picked a weird flex for the top and mid. Both of them could either play mid or top. They're a little bit interchangeable there, and we did see a couple switch-ups there throughout the game.
We also saw Ambessa for the first time. Didn't get too much value in that game, but can't really do much when your team is getting slaughtered. So didn't work out in that game, but Saints going to regroup and go again in game 2. We're going to throw it to a very, very quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the draft for game 2.
The tortoise and the hare, a tale as old as time. Purdue being the tortoise, playing the long game, waiting for the Saints to get a little bit tired, make a slip up, and pounce on that. They took game 1, but this is a best of 5. We have game 2 and a guaranteed game 3 at the very least.
Yeah, still a lot of legal edge to play. It was just a great draft composition there from side Purdue, and it's something St. Clair have to take into account. Will they ban out something like the Ivern this time, or the Oriana, same ban as last time? I mean, I definitely like St. Clair to kind of switch things up and not go for the same type of comp.
The Karthus ban is wild. I don't know why they're banning Karthus. I don't think Karthus is absolutely cracked right now or anything. Maybe it's a comfort ban, but I can't quite tell at this point if Karthus somehow ruins the entire game plan of Purdue.
I don't know. Not too sure. Maybe Bad Rig Rhymes is a really good Karthus player.
That's true.
Maybe that's the case, and that's why they are banning it out. And Jinx can be banned out. St. Clair this time not letting the Yone drop into Purdue's hands. They still stick to the Draven ban though. So the only new thing for St. Clair here, Yone gonna be banned out. That's not something Purdue can play, but they're scared of Akshan as well. I mean, these are definitely pocket picks that St. Clair are definitely good on.
I mean, yeah, all these bans, they're absolutely great. And right now, I'm getting word that Bad Rig Grimes' signature is the Karthus, so of course you got to ban that one out. Can't give the one trick to beat you.
True. Karthus in the right hand scary, and Purdue, they are not scared of St. Clair. They're gonna lock in the Ambessa alongside the Ivern, and Ivern was such a threat last game. I'm very surprised St. Clair didn't ban it out.
Me too, and I'm surprised they didn't ban out the Ambessa if they're not going to be playing it. Maybe they're like, oh, it's not too much value, and we'll see if that Ambessa might be the curse that is.
I think it will be.
You know, it didn't get all too much value, but maybe Purdue knows how to show us how to get it done. Graves being hovered by St. Clair, absolutely all right pick, but honestly, I don't think it's going to win them many games at this point.
I mean, if that's the way you're going to play St. Clair, then you'll be in the enemy jungle early on, invading. If you just full clear and let an Ivern full clear and you're playing Graves, things will not end well for you. I can promise you that. They're going to steal away the Ashe this time. The St. Clair will. So they're just kind of all over the place. They have the top laner, they have the jungler, they have the ADC, but it's going to give Purdue an opportunity to get some nice counter picks in here. What do they want to play instead of the Ashe? The Samira, my personal one-trick champion that hasn't been seen too much in pro play. A very volatile champ that needs an engaged support. So if you're inside of St. Clair, you do know that. But against the Ashe, it's going to be hard. If you make one mistake, overstep one time, you will die. But with the Ivern, with the Ambessa, with a lot of frontline, Samira can definitely make things work.
Yeah, Samira, I'm thinking it's going to be weaving in and out here, especially with how they played that bot lane last game. They just waited for the right time to strike. I think they're pretty much always in the lead from the get-go. I mean, there's a few times St. Clair was doing well, but they were just able to get that first tower down. Braum being banned out by Purdue. They're banning out all the engaged supports right now. This is what both teams are very worried about. And I don't know how many more we're going to be left with. I mean, we have Nautilus, but that's going to get banned out as well.
Leona.
Rakan.
You could play Rakan. Not something you see too often these days, but yeah, that is a support. I'm definitely expecting a Leona here. I don't know how many more picks are better. A Maokai.
Ooh, that could be pretty great. But the Vex mid is an absolutely lethal pick from Purdue.
That is a lethal pick, and it is interesting. Vex does have a fear, and it is very good in their team comp. Vex lands a fear, Samira auto attack, lifts up an enemy for an extra CC. Ivern throws the Q. I mean, that's a lot of lockdown there. So,
and Ambessa locks down any of the champs on that line.
And it also knocks up, right?
Yep.
And, that champ with Samira, that's also going to be a nice combo. You're going to have Daisy as well inside Purdue. I mean, their comp is very good. Victor going to be picked up for St. Clair. That's a strong mid pick. Good into Vex, but if you get CC'd once, you are getting blown up. Not a lot of tankiness here for St. Clair. They're going to take the Leona themselves. And as I was saying, a champion in support like Maokai this game could be amazing. I wouldn't even be too
I'm trying to see what the game plan on the side of the Saints is. Maybe slow them down in a team fight, block them out with grades, really isolate one key target, I think is their plan. Meanwhile, Purdue is going for, let's just swipe the entire team in one team fight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with Beck Samira, that's the way you want to play. I'm really surprised. Not surprised. I'm intrigued by what Purdue could pick here at support. I mean, even like a Galio. You saw the Maokai
A
hover there
Thresh.
for a second. A Thresh, yeah.
I mean, it won them the last game, but
It did. But I personally just, it's not like St. Clair have like that much of a threat to your Samira. And as Samira, you don't want to be backing up ever. You always want to be going forward. So I would have loved the Maokai. Thresh, on the other hand, I mean, from personal experience, that lane is just not ideal.
it's going to be pretty tough to time those knock-up extensions, especially with Thresh. You're only
Yeah.
knocked up for
Just
a
the
short
E.
amount of time with that E, and you got to be in pretty close. So, I mean, it's possible, but I think it's just looking a little bit improbable. But overall, what are your thoughts on who would you give the edge out to right now?
I mean, I still think Purdue have a better draft. I just think Ivern is very undervalued in today's meta. With a champ like Ambessa that just has shields on shields alongside Ivern, I mean, it's gonna be brutal. Vex is there kind of for the zoning spells that keeps St. Clair away, so they don't all just funnel through the same choke. And Samira, she can get some good setup. She can do a lot of damage quickly.
Yeah, I think I would definitely give most of this comp over to Purdue. I think Saints might be able to shut down those problematic champs to get everybody, like 3 or 4 of them on them. But I think that's only going to buy them so much time. I mean, once it gets down to the real team fights, Purdue's just going to walk away with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Purdue definitely showed why they are a strong team in game one, and with this dominant draft, I mean, it's just a great draft from them. I would definitely see them going as the favorite just based off draft into the second game. St. Clair kind of just all over the map.
All over the map, and let's hope they are all over the map coming into this next map. And with all that being said, I think we're going to throw it over to a very quick 3-minute break, and we'll be right back with the action. St. Clair losing the first game. Not looking too good. Purdue going to the moon and back. Looking to go on one more mission there. Actually looking for two more to take this one all the way home. But nevertheless, right now they're circling in orbit around that second win.
Yeah, St. Clair didn't get off to a bad start in game one. Had a relatively even mid game there, but early game there, but in the mid game they became way stronger. Now they're able to find the Ivern a little bit from their scouting from last game. They know the Ivern's going to start here. And that's going to slow down the Ivern a little bit, but the reset should come through in time. Shouldn't really stop their the jungle clear too much.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to amount to all too much already. Placing down wards, getting some much needed info. You're going to know if that chicken clear goes through. I mean, it's not absolutely vital information, but it just helps you keep track of where that jungler is going to be.
Yeah, it's a good thing to keep track of the enemy jungler. Lets you set up for plays. Lets you know if you can trade early game in certain lanes, and in certain lanes, you know, you won't be able to trade because then the jungler comes, you are in big trouble. But finally, the minions are on the battlefield, crying a moo there for Condito. I used that emote as well. And the top lane is going to be Ambessa vs Gragas. I think it's a big matchup in this game.
I think so. That's going to be the big thing everyone's eyes are on. I think right now, bot lane, just getting those first last hits in, getting a little bit of a trade. Curious to see how this Ambessa does on the level 1 engage. Actually gets a lot of damage there. Absolutely brutal for Nagin, who last game had an absolutely amazing start against that Renekton on the Jace, but you're not able to play that ranged advantage here. I mean, you can try and do some ability spam right now.
Level 2.
You're up against level 2 Ambessa. That's not looking too good.
And Naga doesn't hit the level 2 himself, so takes so much damage for no real reason there. It's Purdue's top laner playing a little bit better there in this encounter. Does hit a Q though, and then that's a champ that has a lot of sustain. The Gragas, not necessarily the end of the world, losing some HP early on.
Jeez, look at that first initial slow push though. That's going to be an absolutely massive crash when
they could dive it.
I mean, they could dive it. You're absolutely correct, Theo. Things are moving in very quickly, and all of the lanes on the Saints, aside from that top lane, that seems to be the only area they're struggling.
You know, I said the Ivern would need to get invaded by the Graves here for the Saints to have a chance at winning. And from the look of things, Graves has not gone anywhere near Ivern's jungle. Ivern's just going to go and clean up those camps, and now he's free to roam the map. So I think Purdue Gold in the very early stages of this game have advantage purely because of that.
And still, I have a feeling Phantom is looking a little bit too hungry for this Gragas. I mean, when you're invested, you definitely feel the aggression flow here. You have such powerful engage tools. You just want to go in, dash in. You have 3 dashes, for God's sake, but you still have to play patient.
Yeah, and the Gragas is actually going to be up in the CS department, so all that damage he took doesn't matter. He got the gold, he got the reset, he got the back, and actually a great job from this Gragas to somehow be ahead of this Ambessa, even though taking some poor trades early on. Speaking of poor trades, this could be one here. Badrig Grimes is here, the Samira trying to get out, but it's so hard against the Ashe, who's able to kite. The Ivern Q misses. That would have maybe been a kill in the end. A couple summoners used, but some big summoners burned from Purdue. Their Samira now being flashless.
Definitely, I think Purdue Gold, team comp, well, it is very strong, is definitely all coming online at that level 6 mark. They all rely so heavily on those Aldrins. Meanwhile, the Saints' bread and butter kits on their characters are a lot stronger here in the early game.
Oh, that's a big hook miss. If that hit onto the Leona would have been good. But now the Ashe can look to turn here. The Samira has to be careful here. Doesn't look like the extended chase will come through, but Cannon Minion was missed by Samira in the meantime. So in the end, for St. Clair, it's not too bad balling this Ivern, trying to help the Samira get the crash in, which she struggles it against Ashe and a Leona team comp. But the crash will go through, the bag should come through. In the end, this game having no kills so far. Pretty interesting.
It is pretty interesting, I'd have to agree with you there. Back being committed there in the bush.
Oh.
Wow, that would have been absolutely massive if that landed, but not quite. Bit of a deadlock here in the top lane, a little bit of an engage. trade back and forth. You got to land a few more abilities, Phantom, to get some value, and you do. Edward Grumps taking a huge Q there, and there's the ultimate. Can that be a kill? No, almost dies for it, but I see why you'd want to do that, but that was a little bit of a risky play.
I mean, I don't know why the Vex did that. Just ruined kind of her lane where she was doing so well, and you get the nice poke, you hit the ult, but I don't think following it there is a good idea.
Yeah, I think you hit the Q, you get the value,
Yeah, you
make them have to back.
Go
back, you can't go for those ganks. You gotta take the wins where you can. Yes, if you got the kill, even then, you're still at the mercy of Victor. Had to commit the fat flash as well. It's not looking too good for the Vex right now. It's looking alright. They got out. They didn't die for it, but they're out quite a powerful resource now.
And you could see St. Clair anticipating a dive here in bot lane from the side of Purdue, but that's not the right call. Purdue gonna be in bot lane. Can the Ivern hit the Q on the Ashe? That's all that matters there.
Oh, there's the ultimate.
But there's the ultimate from the Zambessa. No flash on this Graves. First blood to Purdue Gold. Even though 1-on-2 situation for Phantom. Finds the kill. Is going to get the grubs as well. A beautiful, beautiful start for Purdue after that kill.
Yeah, beautiful start indeed. And again, this Vex just so good at landing the poke. And look at this differential right now. It's so hard to close in on this Victor. Has a lot of zoning tools, but Vex able to just out-poke him.
Vex a very, both laners are very strong laner, but Victor's kind of known to be that bully lane, and against the Vex, he's not able to do it so far this game. Vex has that lost chapter. He's going to be up a wave on this Victor, who can't back here. He's going to lose out a little bit more here. As I think Ambessa took one grub. It's going to be Purdue, though, playing for the Dragons again.
Playing for the Dragon, probably most likely going to take it at this point. I mean, they have every tool to do so, and that's something the Saints aren't really doing. They're not going for these Dragons. They're prowling the grubs, and I mean, if you're in the lead, the grubs are great, but if you're not, you definitely need those Dragons to fall back on if you need a little bit of a comeback mechanic. This Graves waiting in the wings here, waiting to jump in. Looks like they're going to try and take a tower plate here, but the Graves going to just opt for a back.
Yeah, Graves.
Oh, there it is, actually.
There's the hook landing. Samira is level 6, but it is a 2v3. And look at the Samira. She cannot do much here. Forced to go in against Ashe. It just does not work out, especially alongside a Thresh. But now the Vex ult is going to miss from Purdue. That's going to lead to their Thresh going down. That's going to lead to their Vex going down. I mean, AZ on this Vex. Not a good play there. St. Clair, on the flip side, get the kills, and they are going to be having a gold lead for the first time here.
Yeah, an absolutely massive misplay from Purdue Gold. I mean, they had every option, every tool available to them, and they could have taken that fight in a very big way. But now, I think this Zambessa is really looking to snowball here, because you need at least somebody in a significant lead.
Yeah, Zambessa tried to go for the ultimate and the solo kill there. Wasn't able to find it. Nagin has to be careful here. The W from Phantom is going to be there, but he's going to find the E and the bonk. Not too sure what Phantom was thinking. A beautiful solo kill from Nagin is now St. Clair. Look to be the ones in control of the game.
You have 2 dashes there. Phantom easily could have got out if you played the slow game. I mean, you can't go over terrain, but nevertheless, a little bit of a crazy engage, especially when you don't have any Omnivamp items aside from Doran's Blade. Like, you're not going to vamp that damage back. Now we're seeing Ivern have to try and stall out that top tower, maybe turn for a grubs with Vex and the rest of the team once they make their way back up here. So far, the Saints making a bit of a comeback, getting some key kills just off of big misplays from Purdue.
A good job by the Saints, but still, the CS numbers are relatively close, even though they're up a couple kills here and there. This Ashe is pretty accelerated, but Samira has a 77 farm, so the goal difference between the two won't actually be that large, and that's very, very important. The Grub's going to go over to St. Clair Academy. I think they got a couple there, so not that bad. Not a bad play from them to get those done, but next dragon is going to be spawning in 3 minutes. It's going to be the Infernal Dragon. That's a nice arrow there on the Ashe, but I don't think they can fight this as the Samira and the Thresh. They're going to try. They go in. They get the ult off, but the CC is too good. The kill doesn't come through. The flash was ready for Samira. She just greeted it. Didn't want to flash out of the range of the Leona, and it's all falling apart here for Purdue. St. Clair finding kills left and right. Leona will fall down here to this Ivern, trying to give it to Vex. Doesn't come through, but a solo kill top, and again for the Gragas.
Yeah, that Gragas getting very scary. 2 kills on the board right now, and the CS difference is looking to be pretty significant relatively soon. This Samira not getting all too much value. I mean, you run barrier, but maybe you even need a cleanse at this point with all that CC.
Yeah, you definitely need a cleanse against Leona. I'm not too sure why the barrier was picked up. That's a very, very important misplay because it would have led to a kill on that last play. And the barrier wasn't even up, so yeah, it's just some poor play here from Purdue, but St. Clair are doing a beautiful job of capitalizing on it. And they take an advantage, but they can't get too overconfident. There's still a lot of League of Legends to play.
Yeah, there's still a lot, and we saw a very similar situation with Purdue last game. They were down and out. They had a dragon up, didn't have much else up, and they just played the slow game. They bunkered down. They waited in the wings, waited for the Saints to make a similar slip up. Let's see if they're able to do so again.
Yeah, now with the Samira getting put behind, that's a definitely blow in Purdue's plans. The champion's just not very good when she's not in the game, and with a lot of damage being on, that Samira's back. I mean, it's going to be important for Gumayukwi to get things going on. And the top side, Phantom is getting absolutely bullied by this Gragas. So much damage coming through, but there is the ult onto the Graves, who will not kill the Samira. Now the trade's looking to come through. They get the CC on the Leona. Samira has no E. Will get the kill. Flashes way too late. Kind of wasting that one. Won't have it for the follow-up now, but the Vex is here. Beautiful team fight coming out from Purdue. They find all 4. The Samira ult does clean up. Vex falls down, and also in the meantime, top lane, Mbessa did fall down. In the end, it's a 5-4-2 for the side of Purdue as they get control of this game back.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. They're just going to wait for the perfect time to strike and then execute. Get so much value out of that. And even the gold hand give them so much more pressure here, especially later this game goes. Whenever you make these game-changing plays, you get so much more out of them. Momentum, though, going to be swinging Purdue's favor. Nagin might be able to get a tower here on the next crash.
All I'm saying, St. Clair did lose that fight, but Nagin is an absolute monster. He's up 2 levels. He's basically taken a full turret, and the Phantom is not even close to being in this game right now. I mean, as soon as his back comes through, this Gragas is going to buy some lethal items. Thresh missing on the hook, and now look against Ash Leona. What can you really do? You're forced to burn your flash. This is why I did not like this Thresh pick. Imagine you're a champion like Maokai there. You can go on the Ash, and you guys can one-shot that alongside your Samira. Now you're going to lose a full wave, and you're going to be behind after just making a good play not too long ago.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting pick there on the Thresh. I mean, maybe you wanted a little bit more of a tanky pick for your team, but nevertheless, don't think that was exactly the best decision. And now the Saints getting Dragon of their own. That Ivern gonna get stunned and killed.
And that's Darkseal's gone off of the map there. A beautiful proactive play from St. Clair. But the Ashe is going to get ulted on by the Vex. I'm not too sure if the Vex has the damage to find this one. Does pop the cleanse here. Maybe the Vex could try the follow-up. I just don't see how this happens here. Easy survive for Ashe. Vex misses another wave in mid lane. I mean, Purdue, macro-wise, doing a great job here against the Saints.
Now, no one really being able to claim the grub.
Oh!
Wow, Phantom, big
Phantom.
ult miss there. That's going to be absolutely disastrous. Great movement from Nagin there. And right now, the Saints really stopping the bleeding here and even adding some bleeding for Purdue right now. They're not able to recover from this one very easily.
Yeah, Phantom doing his best job to try to lose this game. Another poor play. He starts up the grubs.
You're right.
He's not the jungler. He starts up the grubs, and he just dies for no reason. I mean, I don't know what Phantom is doing. And after having a rough last game, I think there might be a weak point here for Purdue, and that could give St. Clair some life in this series. 1-4 now on this Mbessa, who was picked into the Gragas. I mean, it's just not a good look for the side of Purdue.
Kodito in a little bit of a rough spot.
Man.
Thresh ult gonna go down.
It's good.
What is happening here? It's absolutely great here. If the hook gets landed by Snockum, it could be massive. Gets the slow. Can they get the hook? Can you get the Q, Thresh? No, you're gonna have to save it. But you get the Q on the important subject. There's the ult. It's an absolutely massive team fight. They get blown apart. Bagger Grimes on a killing spree. But somehow only one death is the result of that massive fight.
Ivern flashes on the Ashe but doesn't have the Q, and if the Ashe isn't killed instantly, the longer the fight goes, the more it favors the side of the Saints. Another good play from Purdue, honestly, to find the initial kill. There's going to be the Ashe ult. Misses on that Vex. A nice try. Didn't see it too well. Thresh ends up in the backline trying to find the kill here. Can they get it onto the Grace? Do they have the damage? Couple more autos. One more auto does get the shutdown onto the Vex. That's a huge play from the Thresh. Sakanom doing a great job. Now Phantom trying to win the one-on-one. Looking very, very good. Getting back to this lane with the Eclipse. Maybe trying to prove everyone wrong. Can he come back into this one? Even though so far behind, down 2 levels, gets a really nice trade onto the Gragas. We're just looking to clear out the wave. Won't get too much done there, though. Still, St. Clair have a bit of a lead, but Purdue are finding some key plays.
Definitely finding some key plays. And yeah, that Eclipse on the Mbessa might be the game changer. You just definitely need that rushed first. Ivern gonna hit that blast plant, get out of there. No trouble at all. And that shield is going to be absolutely key for Phantom to use here in this team fight. Or this fight.
The problem with this matchup now, with the Grags being fed, he can just disengage any of Phantom's damage, and it just becomes really hard to play. Phantom had the early advantage, had the early lead, but just getting smoked in this laning phase. And you know, it's a good thing for Purdue that the rest of their lanes are doing relatively okay. No one's really far ahead or really far behind. And Phantom now going for the solo kill here. Nagin looking to stay alive. Ult to keep himself alive. A beautiful ultimate, but I don't think you can stay under this turret. Backgrid Grimes going to show up, and they're going to flash on to this. Wow! Somehow finds a 1-for-1 trade. I mean, that is a huge play by that Mbessa. It forces the Graves to push out the top lane, and just like that, Phantom does God's work in the 1-on-2.
And that was like a 300 gold bounty too, going over that.
That was a big bounty, yeah.
Absolutely brutal, especially when you played that perfectly. If you're in Hagen, you just weren't expecting the Mbessa to go all in and get the trade from, I think, like a third of health left. It's absolutely amazing.
That was a crazy play.
I think the key thing there is with Eclipse, Mbessa can proc Eclipse, I think, almost twice over in like a single fight. I mean, you just need to land two hits, and Mbessa gets like 4 per every full set of cooldowns.
Yeah, you have it spot on there. The Eclipse spike for Mbessa. You can see why this was picked up. Leona's gonna go in here. The Samira does get stunned up, but there's nowhere follow up for this Leona. I mean, you cannot just go in solo like that and hope for the best. Because of that play, they're going to most likely lose this dragon. I mean, Purdue, yes, they have been making mistakes left and right, but St. Clair have been doing kind of the same thing here. And Purdue, to their credit, has found very good picks with their comp, and it's giving them a bit of a chance back in this game after St. Clair had a big lead.
Yeah, this game has been very back and forth, a big game of tug-of-war here, and now they're going to pull it all the way back here with this Rift Herald in mid. They want to force a team fight. There's the TP, going for an absolutely massive fight here. Rifty going to go in on that tower.
Mbessa does so much there to get a kill for the side of Purdue, but the fight is still going. But the Ivern in the extended fights is so dangerous. Samira hasn't found anything in this fight. Phantom is going to go down, I believe, on this Mbessa. They find the Thresh as well. St. Clair Academy turning things around. The flash is ready from the Samira, so Badger Grams has to be careful. But this Gragas is so overfed. I don't think Purdue are respecting the damage this Gragas can do. 1 Q will do a lot of damage to Badger Grams. Makes his way over to the Dragons. It'll be St. Clair with a winning team fight where Purdue had their ADC killed instantly, had the flank, but St. Clair able to sustain.
Able to sustain, and I mean, Purdue just not taking these good fights. Just Saints doing a good job at forcing bad scenarios out of them. I mean, it was a pretty even fight going in. I mean, I don't fault them for trying to fight it. You had to at that point, but the Saints just had a little bit better team fighting potential there.
I feel like some mechanical misplays definitely coming up from Purdue. I mean, when you get a position like that, you kill the enemy Ashe. There shouldn't be a way to lose a team fight, but St. Clair played it perfectly, focused on the key targets, found the kills. Let's take a look at the items here. You're going to have Cosmic Drive Fimbulwinter for the Gragas. And then Collector Yomus for the Graves. Victor only has the Gunblade, and Ash only has the Static Shift, so not a lot of damage in those departments. And for the side of Purdue, they have a Vex with 2 items and 5 stacks on a Dark Seal. They have the Mbessa, who has been relatively quiet this game, but found a nice ultimate that last team fight. And the Samira finally gets that 2-item power spike. I mean, I feel like when you have a Samira on your team, it's either all or nothing. Either that champion who wins you the game or loses the game. And as of right now, it hasn't gotten the most impact in his team fights.
Definitely not bad. Rick Grimes definitely dedicated to taking down this tower, trying to isolate that Samira. Samira doing a decent job at holding the line here, keeping things very competitive for the team. I think, is Purdue this daring? They want to force a Baron fight this early?
No.
They're warding it up. They're warding it up.
Yeah, they don't have the damage. Samira, Vex, and Mbessa, and Ivern. All the champs that do no damage to Baron, so their Baron's really slow. That's kind of the one downfall of their team comp here. They don't have too much damage to objectives. They can't really get these Barons and Dragons down quickly. While on St. Clair they can. They have the Ash, they have the Victor and the Graves. They annihilate these objectives. So in that department of the game, I think that's one part where St. Clair have a big advantage. But we're going to see a one-on-one here between Phantom and Nagin. Phantom cannot get anything done. The tankiness from Nagin is too much. As you're going to see, this Gragas looks to outscale this Mbessa in this game.
It's definitely looking not too great for the Mbessa. Phantom just trying to isolate some of these minions, get back in the game with some XP, but at this point it's a little bit too late for that. Right now we see Bad Rick Grimes just chunking down the Ivern, all no one there to stop that. Phantom forced to use so much dashes and really not getting any value. I mean, look at Nagin just getting so much health back and just staying so nice and healthy up there.
Yeah, I mean, Phantom gets slaughtered in the one-on-one. Oh my goodness, they W'd the Ash ult from the Samira, but still decided to flash on the Ivern. That is just another mechanical misplay, which shouldn't be happening at this point. Phantom looking for the one-on-one, knows that help is coming. There's the redemption, the flash forced out by Naga. The flash follow from Phantom.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not sure why the flash came out from Phantom there. There's 0% chance you can kill that Gragas. Another mechanical misplay. I mean, Purdue are just failing here, failing there, and St. Clair are doing a great job of staying alive.
Hey, we're looking to be having a very competitive game too here. I have no idea how this one's gonna go. I mean, Purdue, every time I count them out, they somehow know how to bring it back from the brink. So I won't count them out just yet. But honestly, it's looking more and more likely that the Saints might take this one. And funnily enough, I think it might be the Mbessa pick for both teams being the loss condition.
Yeah, I mean, Mbessa hasn't worked out for either side. And I mean, Phantom is just having such a rough time against this Gragas. I think the Vex should definitely be the one mirroring this Gragas, and it should be the Mbessa just trying her best to farm against the Victor. Dragon's gonna be coming up in 54 seconds. Purdue trying to contest it. St. Clair would love to have this Dragon, so with their tankiness, their 3-item Graves. There's Ash ultimate. Don't have your flash now. That misplay leads to you dying. I mean, it's just a snowball effect League of Legends is, and now it's going to be Purdue forced to back up, but the TP flank is coming through. I'm pretty sure they're all dead here. They're looking to get out. They get out for the time being, and they find the stun on the Graves, but you can see Samira without real engage just kind of falls over and dies. St. Clair looking to take the Baron here. If they do so, I think this game is a wrap.
Yeah, this is looking to be all wrapped up and tied up with a bow at this point. And now, Phantom trying their darndest, but the Zonias, what are you doing? Spamming abilities at a Zonias is not the way to play that. The shutdown comes through, nevertheless, and they might even push them off the Baron if they time this right. This could be an absolutely massive play for Purdue Gold. They need to try and flip it here, but they cannot stop it. They can't stop the bleeding just yet, and now this game is looking to possibly be sealed at this point.
Yeah, that was very, very dangerous. I mean, if the Graves got hit by that Vex ultimate, that was not going to go in St. Clair's favor. I mean, this Vex is very, very dangerous. Does a lot of damage. Purdue will look to take this Dragon here off of the respawn. I think they should be able to get it. So they do tie it up at 2 apiece there, but Rick Grimes is in the vicinity. Maybe throws out an ultimate there on this Graves. No, that will not be the case. I don't think he's still there. Looking for it maybe. Does he have a ward on this? No, it's going to look too blinded. Oh, that was close. Slides in time from Eugene. Makes it 2 Dragons and Peas, but now St. Clair are wearing purple. They should be able to expand their lead massively here.
Exactly, purple buff always just absolutely game-changing. I mean, I don't see a world where that's ever not the case. Badrick Grimes just absolutely ruling the jungle here. No one able to contest, no one able to stop him at this point. 16 to 12, maybe not a lot of kill difference, but the objective difference and the CS difference is absolutely massive. The Ashlar goes all out. Vex just getting hit all over the place, and Victor getting the final shutdown.
Not too sure why Vex is sitting alone on this turret. All 5 members from the Saints. We're going to dive that Vex no matter what. And another just great macro play from St. Clair. They're going to take this tier 2, looking to take the tier 3. I mean, this game is going to be very, very hard for Purdue Gold to come back. And they just don't have the team comp like they did last time with the Ashe. They have a Samira this time. They needed to be the ones snowballing and taking the fights to St. Clair here. But I don't even think the Samira has gotten too much value with her ultimate. Now has that ultimate, but look how much damage is taken. They get Naggin down low, and the Victor can poke out beautifully. All St. Clair are able to stay alive. They're going to be able to recoup and spend their gold.
Just like a bird, you want to go back to the coop and try and, you know, rest up. Go back to roost, as Pokemon players would say. Regain some health, try and get back in this one. And the Saints just an absolute massive lead at this point. No player able to get soul, so Elder's probably not going to be a factor in this game at this point. As we can tell on the map, Purdue just trying to stop the bleed, trying to get back to the spot. There is a big fear, a TP coming into the top side, because you can't leave that Vex alone. But Phantom, if anyone's going to try and help there, the flash comes through, it's not going to be Phantom.
This is pure desperation play from Purdue, and it's not good play. They use everything to try and find that kill top. Victor just flashes away. They don't even try and dive the turret. They just completely leave it alone. And Kudiro doing a great job of staying alive, but Phantom used that ultimate. AZ didn't on that Vex, and that's what could have been the difference here. As a, you know, the ADCs on either team haven't been too important in this game, but the Ashe, I feel like, has definitely gotten more value than this Samira. Just her auto attack slow helps so much in team fights, and across the rest of the board, I mean, Badrick Grimes having an amazing performance on the Graves.
An absolute amazing performance indeed. You're only 5 kills in the lead, but it definitely feels like quite a bit more. I wonder how they're going to use this lead. Very Vex does an absolutely close hook.
I don't think it would have led too much for Purdue, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, the cleanse would just come out from the Ashe. The Graves is right there waiting for some to walk into this bush. Let's see who's going to be the threat. Oh, he gets spotted out, and he goes in. We're going to get some decent poke on this. We're going to see the 5v5 Thresh instantly going to be going down. Can anything die here for the side of St. Clair? I mean, Phantom looking for the Samira. Hasn't gone in yet. Vex going in. Where's the Samira? The Samira's nowhere to be found. The ult comes out. Badrick Grimes going to fall down to Phantom. No! Won't be able to, and then it's just a great team fight win from St. Clair. They should be able to close out the map here, as the Samira found 0 value. I don't think she has ulted once in any team fight. If she's gotten ult off any point in that team fight, would have killed the Grays. But a great job from St. Clair. They're going to take this game 2, and this year's up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and one thing I gotta point out, we were a little iffy on the Grave, but it's absolutely doing work against the Ivor and every other player on the team.
Yeah, Graves has been a great pickup for the Saints here, and Badrick Grimes has done a great job, has been around the map perfectly. And I think the fact that they also have an Ashe that's been ulting this Ivern on cooldown, and they've been finding the picks on them. The fact that this Ivern doesn't have as much uptime definitely makes the game a lot easier for Badrick Grimes, and now he's on 4 items, kind of the big carry for St. Clair. I mean, I just don't see a way Purdue Gold can somehow pull off a miracle fight.
Yeah, I don't really see a way either. I mean, it's looking absolutely dire for them. They're getting some clear in on through. Now, big stun comes through, though. That's the R on the Ashe, and that's going to be another kill on the Ivern. And they're just good at isolating out these heavy hitters, the ones that deal damage, deal trickery, and just deal the pain out for the Saints. They just get rid of them first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure what Purdue was really thinking, picking Ivern and leaving Ashe open. It's completely unplayable. Anytime you walk over anything, you instantly get ulted by the Ashe, and just the game plan here from St. Clair is beautiful. They're making sure they just save the Ashe ult for the Ivern. Whenever he walks over a ward or somewhere where he's not supposed to be, instantly ult him, take him out. And I mean, for this game, it looks like St. Clair were way more prepared with their team composition as they've executed flawlessly.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say flawlessly. They're close, though. At a certain point, it's been flawless ever since they evened it up.
Since they got the Baron.
Ever since they got Baron, it's been absolutely impeccable. I can't find a single flaw. It feels like they've been playing like that from the beginning, but they're really good at tricking you in that way. Like, they had a very struggle start. It looked like it was going to flip the other way, but Purdue Gold just had far too many slip-ups, and the Saints caught those slip-ups every single time. And now it looks like we're most likely going to be heading into a Game 3, but Purdue really hanging on here, trying to bring this game all the way, bringing it to level 18 all around.
The Baron, though, I don't think is going to let anyone get anywhere near level 18. St. Clair looking to take this Baron and just close out the game here. Let's see what happens in team fight. Oh, there goes the Ivern, gets Ashe ulted again. It's almost like deja vu. Phantom trying to stay alive, falls as well, and the game is as good as over. Vex shoots an ultimate into some country that hasn't been built yet. Doesn't hit the mark there. I think they're going to pick up the free Baron. They're just going to slowly chip away in Purdue as Purdue, they can't do anything. Samira cannot get into these team fights. Vex just hasn't been able to do much, and this Ivern has been dead on cooldown.
Yeah, this Ivern really having a rough go over here. I have to applaud the Vex, though, on the side of Purdue Gold. If there's anybody that has done their fair share and more, it's this Vex. Working overtime to try and keep this team together, try and keep them in the game. But there's only so much you can do as an AP carry here. You can't really dive in here and get all too much when the rest of the team isn't up to your level. Unfortunately, they're a few levels behind at this point. The red turret going to be dropping down. St. Clair taking this one slow and steady, making sure they have the kill shot in sight.
Yeah, let's see what happens this fight. Ashe doesn't have air yet, but when she gets it, this Ivern will most likely die. That's just kind of been the name of the game. Looks like a reset gonna come through here for St. Clair. That's exactly what's gonna happen, and you know, they're kind of wacky all around team comp with having just kind of, when you look at it, maybe not too much synergy, but they've played it beautifully. They've had all the synergy you need. I think the Victor and Ashe and the Gragas just do such a good job of peeling off that Samira. I mean, she can't really get in. She just takes too much damage before she's enraged to do so. I think that's definitely been a big key. When enemy team's ADC cannot output any damage, it makes the game a lot easier.
It does make the game a bit easier. Right now, I think ease and difficulty is not really a factor. I think this is just a matter of time. The Saints slowly constricting any source of comeback potential from Purdue. I mean, look at that. Purdue, though, isolating this Leona, finds a kill. They're not going to be quitting just yet. They're looking for another one. If they found that hook, I would have been very scared for them.
Yeah, that was the Grace Flash, and St. Clair, I don't know what they were fighting for. I thought Dragon might have been up, but no, this Ashe shouldn't overcommit here, standing in this mid lane, does not want to go down here, as it's going to be the tower going down to Purdue Gold. They take a good amount of damage. The Grag is going to look to push in. Look at all that damage. I mean, they get a kill onto Vex. The Samira's dead before she can even touch anyone from the side of St. Clair, and they're just way too far ahead. They push through, they pick up the kills. Purdue falling like flies. I'm almost certain St. Clair will be able to close out the map.
Yeah, this is looking like a St. Clair Academy win, and a much needed win after that rough last game. They're just slowly zeroing in on the enemy nexus here, just clearing all the way through. And there's Nagin, probably the absolute star of the show at this match, just closing in, getting these key kills. That was the first snowball they needed to turn things around. Gets the Zonias, gets the focus, and they get the nexus. And of course, this is the semifinals, folks, so I wouldn't expect anything less other than another game on the board. I mean, it was a game 3 nonetheless, but now we're guaranteed a game 4.
Yeah, no matter what, we're going to see at least 4 games in this series and tied up at 1 apiece. I mean, St. Clair definitely winning the draft in that game. From the pre-game, we didn't think that was going to be the case, but when you take a look at the game, the Samira was completely useless. It couldn't get any value, and Ambessa also has not been a good pick for either team so far in the series.
No, that's quite interesting. It seems like Mbessa might be a very good solo pick champ, but in these big team-based fights in this collegiate space, it doesn't seem to be working out all too well. I think everyone knows her tricks at this point. It's just movement, it's just raw damage, and if you try and stay outside of that, play the long game, you can usually turn it around for yourself. But nevertheless, I don't think we're going to be seeing an Mbessa next game. Neither team, I don't think, wants to pick it at this point, unless they want to try and go for just the flex of being like, yeah, I won the game with Mbessa, even with that handicap, but it's not. I don't think it's going to go that way.
I mean, anything is possible. She has been picked relatively early in these drafts, and I think both teams were kind of just excited to play her. But yeah, it hasn't worked out for either team. I mean, it is what it is. And now we go back to game 3. We're tied up at 1 apiece. Now it becomes a best-of-3 series. First team to win 2 games from this point on will be moving to the grand final.
Exactly. With all that on the line, you don't want to miss our next game, so just stay put for a very, very quick break. Inch by inch, foot by foot, mile by mile, the Saints clawed their way back from the jaws of defeat and took the second game. Now, heading into game 3, things are looking quite interesting on the board here, Theo. Of course, we have the default bans off the bat. We have Oriana, probably a pick of Purdue. Of course, we have the Akshan ban and the Karthus ban, a St. Clair signature. The Yone ban comes through once again. The Jinx ban comes through on the side of Purdue. We're seeing the same stuff every time come through. I think we can very much guess so. These are either the specialities of either team or just the meta-defining champs.
Yeah, it looks like both teams know what they want to pick up and ban. St. Clair looking to ban out that Draven, and they will do so. Purdue Insta gonna lock in the Gragas. They saw how much value that one got last game. Now they're gonna play for themselves. And bad Rick Grimes hovering the Graves yet again. Will it be picked up this time against the Gragas? Could be played in the jungle. Not something we will see, I don't think, but it is definitely possible. As Saints, what do you think they need to do with this draft to kind of give them an edge against the way Purdue plays?
Not pick Mbessa. Right now, the trend is looking like you pick Mbessa, you lose the game. I don't think that's quite exactly right, but it definitely feels like that if you're going to take correlation and not causation as your dividing rule. Right now, we're going to see the Ashe pick be picked, and of course, you want to pick the Ashe. You got so much value out of that, and especially if Ivern's going to be picked again.
Yeah,
that was the answer to that.
If Purdue, for some reason, pick Ivern here, I might do backflips on the spot here. I have a bad ankle, so no, you don't want to see that. That's going to be a disaster. But I'm definitely not expecting Purdue to pick the Ivern this time. So it's going to be the first time we see them off Ivern in this series, and it looks like the Skarner are going to be the play. Pretty standard, very good against everything. Does a lot of damage, tanks everything. Has a lot of CC. Just a great champion to play design-wise. I don't know if I would go that far, but now they're looking to pick up an ADC, and it's going to be Corki. It was banned out in Game 1, if you don't remember, and now in Game 3, Purdue gets to pick it up.
You're playing the Corki into the Ashe. I don't know how that one's going to go. It should probably go pretty well here. Corki's an absolute monster down there.
Yeah, he does so much damage. So much damage.
I'm glad I don't play ADC anymore. I used to, but now those days are behind me. I'm here in the mid lane, and hopefully we see a mid lane pick relatively soon. I mean, that's going to be a top lane pick, actually. Aatrox being hovered and locked in for St. Clair. Haven't seen an Aatrox in quite a while.
Aatrox, a champ that's getting stronger and stronger by each patch, and has been just a very solid champion. Very hard to hit his E, because I mean it should be comboed with an ability. It shouldn't just pull you from anywhere, but it is pretty easy to dodge. But the healing, the damage on Aatrox, I mean the champion is just a very, very strong champ. Past those 2 item points, when you go up against like a level weaker ADC that can't really run, I mean it's a very good champion to lock people down.
Definitely, and of course we have the Thresh ban from St. Clair. There's banning out the supports at this point because that's definitely what you gotta be worried about. You don't want that Ashe to have such an easy time here, especially with a Braum. I fought against a Braum just the other day in ranked, and it was absolutely brutal, just blocking out every single punch I threw. And the Sylas ban, I don't mind that. Sylas absolutely dominating the meta right now.
Yeah, it is, and you don't want to give a Sylas a Gragas or a Skarner ultimate. Like, that would be scary. A Skarner ultimate on the Sylas, who can get up close and personal with relative ease, especially against the champions of St. Clair. So a good ban from Purdue. I like that one there. And now St. Clair looking for their next pick. They've loved the Leona so far, and why not? That champion is very, very strong. One of the better supports in the game. CC is immaculate. And that's the tankiness is there. That's all you really need from your support. Purdue, I don't know
about that. Maybe you bring cleanse this time.
I don't like this at all. Again, it's gonna be the Corki going mid. The good thing for Purdue is they can't pick Thresh, so
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. And Maokai, they hovered it last time. I mean, that's the ideal pick. You can go on Ashe if you're Maokai. Kennen,
what is going on?
Kennen, I mean, Gragas will be going support.
Skarner support.
No, it has to be Gragas, which is not the worst idea. And they go Kennen to Aatrox, but the thing is, Purdue's top laner has been having a bit of a rough time, so they give him the counter pick again. They go Kennen into Aatrox. If the top laner of Purdue doesn't perform and have a great performance in this map, I'd be very concerned with drafting for him again. Zareth.
We're 0-2 on the draft, so
Zareth.
I think that's Zareth mid.
That is Zareth mid.
Into the Corky. Gonna try and play the range, maybe? That's the game plan. It's not an all too bad game plan, but
I mean, Purdue will have a relatively tough time getting on top of this Zareth, in theory.
yeah, they don't really have too much range at all, actually, on anything. And nothing to really gap close either, like a Thresh to swing in there, a Nautilus to swing in there. You don't have anything. Kind of have to very much flash in. Hopefully the Skarner can pick up these hard-to-reach targets and carry them to victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or you pray that Gragas hits a good ultimate, you hit a knock-up, boom, bing, bang. But it's easier said than done. We saw Purdue try last game. Samira just could not get anywhere near these team fights. I think this time it definitely going to have a bit of an easier time, but still, the mid lane poke is going to be there for Purdue. The Leona support. I mean, if we don't see a cleanse from this Samira, I'm going to be very, very surprised. You need the cleanse. Would have helped last game. And, it's a good draft from both sides. St. Clair, though, this time picking up Zareth. Not a champ that you will ever really see. Not a meta champion. But into the draft of Purdue, it's not a bad idea.
I think it's just confidence there. They know they can try and play that slow Corky. You don't really want to dive on. You want to try and keep them at bay, not get too close, because that's when the damage starts rolling in. I mean, I see the game plan here on the Saints. There's some semblance of some of the champs. I don't really see the game plan on the side of Purdue. I struggle to see what's going on exactly there.
Well, the thing about Samir, she's a pretty unique champion because she's an ADC that needs to be in the enemy team's face. And when you get in the enemy team's face as an ADC, you either kill them quickly or you die. And when you pick a champ like Samira, you need to have a lot of setup for her. And yes, they will have the cannon ultimate, stun up everybody. And it's going to be this whole game on Purdue relies on this cannon. He needs to win the lane. He needs to have crucial ultimates because other than that, I mean, the rest of their team fights kind of If the side of the Saints are all stunned up, then the Samir can swoop in and do so much damage. But if it plays out anything like last game, St. Clair, if they take a lead through that mid game, they will definitely win the game.
I'd have to definitely agree with you right there. I mean, I got to be honest, though, I don't think our predictions have been right on the money today in terms of team comp, so I'm always down to be surprised. But just on paper, on our analysis, I definitely think I'd hand this one over to the Saints, especially after winning the last game. They have the momentum. I think they've figured out what Purdue does to try and take things back here. They know how they play. They know their MO. And I think they have their number. But with all that being said, I think we are going to throw it over to a very quick break and be right back with the game. 1-1. That is the current scoreline in the series. Best of 5, though. No one on series point just yet. This determines who remains on top in this series, putting themselves on series point without back and forth, and how unpredictable this has been so far. I have no idea where this is going to go. This is going to be a good match. That's all I know.
Absolutely, and you're going to see Kennen start with the Doran's Blade, which is not too uncommon. Auto attacks a lot in the early game.
Skarner forgot items.
Skarner doesn't have an item. I don't think. I think he does realize he doesn't have any items.
Yep.
He was just going out to see for a ward, but should still have an item when doing that now. Gonna reset, pick that one up, and let's see how the early game is gonna go. The junglers haven't been too aggressive in these early levels. They've gone for these full clears.
I have to say Skarner lacks a potion,
Oh,
which could matter.
It could matter.
If you die by, what is it, 100 HP, 50 HP, something around those lines.
120 or something.
That could determine the fight right there. I mean, one wrong move. Oh, speaking of one wrong move, a little bit of Kennen star. It's not going to matter, though.
Yeah, Kennen does a decent amount of damage, has infinite mana, like the Aatrox can just spam. But Aatrox looking at land the Q, won't land it there. Phantom Gun will try and guess that blind Q, won't get it. Corki into Xerath. I don't know too much about this matchup, but from just the way the champs are built, I definitely expect Xerath to have a pretty easy time scaling up, able to get his items, as Corki shouldn't be able to get it in too close proximity of that one. And bot lane, I mean, I think the Samir Leona are heavily favored over the Samir Gragas, as the Ashe Leona is just going to be a very strong bot lane composition. It's going to be hard for Purdue to walk up and get these last hits if St. Clair really play aggressive.
So it seems like Xerath is a counter pick on paper, but it has to be performed relatively well. I mean, one wrong move and that Corki can just absolutely explode on you. And now bot lane going for an early wave crash there. St. Clair trying to slow push this one, but getting just a few hits in. And it's that Comet on Aatrox. It's a pretty interesting rune to have.
Yeah, it's not something you'll see every day, but Aatrox knows that his only trades are short trades. So Comet is good. It's a good idea. I like it from Nagin here. And the team fights is really where this Aatrox is going to shine. That's going to be where we get to see most of the damage. And if, the whole point is for the Aatrox to kind of stay even in this lane as much as possible, even though there is a losing lane. And the Comet is going to help him in that factor.
Definitely will. Now just some trades left and right. Aatrox going in for the level 3 engage. Doesn't find too much value, though. Stuns get traded. And now you can definitely tell both teams respecting each other's space a lot more this game.
Yeah, no real early fights here. Ashe and Leona, as expected, gonna have the push here. Skarner, though, is towards bot lane. Let's see if we find a team fight there for the Saints near that bot side of the map. Doesn't look to be the case. No team fights coming through yet. A
lot of minion damage up there in the top line, not doing too hot up there.
Oh.
Skarner just dashing in, running it down, trying to get rid of that crab. Now Xerath forced to go down, but there's three of them here. It's a 3v2, forced to use the flash, gets the stun, and that's Xerath dead most likely, and no value going to be gotten out of that for the Graves either.
Ignite does get burned by this Gragas, which is not the end of the world for St. Clair. They do get a free summoner out for no reason, but Condito does get caught out, gets the flash used as well, and only using that Gragas flash. I mean, that was just a great pick play from the side of Purdue.
Great pick play indeed. 7k gold for Purdue. They already have a 1,000 gold lead on the Saints. The Saints maintain momentum, but they're getting a little bit anxious. But that was a little bit of a fake out, forcing the flash. Grimes goes in.
He doesn't get it.
One shot away. They both are gets the trade at least, but still Purdue in the lead.
I mean, it was almost a completely travesty for the Saints. Badrick Grimes does find the kill. Not even too sure how. I thought the minion would have blocked the auto attack, but the trade does come out from that cannon. Who's just going to TP back up top? Doesn't lose anything from that play. Just gets a bit of golden XP. So, in the end, still a great play by the cannon, getting the kill 1-on-2.
A big engage there from the Leona. Get them under tower. Can't quite get much value out of it, though. Right now, Purdue playing the slow game, getting the trades, getting the kills where they can. We're trying to get an early lead on the Saints. And they really need to, because they saw that if you give the Saints time to plan, to react, to think, things just start to blow up on them. Right now, jungle objectives are starting to come online, but that's not really a priority for anybody right now. It seems like ganks are the priority and just getting your initial clears. Right now, this Aatrox actually having a lot of trouble playing against this Kennen. Kennen just able to keep him at bay.
Yeah, I mean, Kennen definitely going to have a lot of pressure, especially with that kill. Already has that first item, the component, but it's just one of the stronger components in the game. Does a lot of damage, a lot of extra damage. So, yeah, this Aatrox is going to have a bit of a rough time. I mean, he has the wave frozen, is just doing a great job of finding the last hits, gets the comet proc there, picks up the cannon, but it is going to push back into Kennen. That's when things get dangerous.
That is definitely the inciting incident here. Have to watch out against Kennen. Kennen just gets so much chip damage and then has a lot of burst damage to boot. You have to be very, very careful here. Just dashing out Eugene, trying to just get out of here, drift out of here. You don't want to go in on this bot lane when they have so much resistance. But they definitely want this dragon. They're waiting for Bad Rick Grimes, the hero of the hour, to arrive here from the jungle. But Purdue Gold not going to push in, not too much value gotten there. A lot of trades here. That's a big amount of damage. I mean, what was that, like 2/3 for 1/3? Yeah. I'll take that any day. Big engage here in the bot lane, though. Samira and Ashe doing a lot of work here. Mr. Audi, though, going to be taken down. That's Samira taking a lot of damage in here. Bit of a shutdown happening in the mid lane. Now Soa going in on this Samira. Samira still doesn't have that ult, can't really get that burst damage she needs so badly, and goes down to the Ashe.
And the Kennen gets solo killed by the Aatrox Phantom. Yet again, getting that counter pick, but just dying mid-game to the Aatrox. St. Clair now take the lead with that play. The Xerath ultimate was used mid lane, picked up the initial kill there. I mean, St. Clair are firing on all cylinders. They're going to get so much gold from those kills.
So much gold, in fact. They're going to cement a little bit of a gold lead at this point. We really need to turn this into an objective lead, because if you look at the map there, the Skarner and the rest of the team are moving in.
Oh my goodness.
What did Corky just miss there? You just needed to hit anything, any button at that point, other than missing the rocket at point blank. That's an absolute disaster. Would have been an absolutely massive kill for the team, putting them in the lead on that one lane that they are absolutely losing.
Yeah, now the Merc Tread's going to be bought by Nagin, who's not going to be very scared of this Kennen anymore. He's going to be able to tank up a good amount of damage, and there's the engage. You're seeing it right here. The pullback comes through. This could be another kill for Nagin. Does he have that ultimate ready? No, he does not. Doesn't decide to Q3, but look at this beautiful trade. Forces the Skarner to come give more attention top his Phantom. Yet again, takes a terrible trade on that Kennen.
Absolutely terrible indeed, and now it looks like Aatrox just struggling to have enough clear, though, to keep up with this Kennen. The waves are crashing time after time. CS still in the Aatrox favor, but I think the tempo is just a little bit in Kennen's favor as per right now. But in the long game, these differences will matter less and less once it gets to the hard engage side of this game. Right now they're creeping in. Saknam looking for a very interesting engage here. It's hard, I think, to get a lot of support value out of this Gragas, but if you can time it right, it should go their way.
You're spot on there. I mean, Purdue still have some life left in them. Only down 500 gold, and the Kennen in those team fights. One good ultimate is all it takes. One good Kennen ultimate could just be wraps at any point in the game. That champion's ultimate, kind of like a Samira, the one ultimate's all it takes to really get into the game. Graves gonna find a nice trade here onto this Corky, who's overstaying his welcome, but does a lot of damage. The Ashe ult forces the flash, but here is a Xerath ultimate, finds all three there as this beautiful mechanical play from St. Clair. No cleanse onto this Samira means she is going to take a lot of damage. Almost falls down. Now I'm expecting a dive here from St. Clair. They should go to the dragon afterwards, but instead they're going to let the Samira base stay alive and take the dragon.
I'm expecting some backflips, Theo. You said that if that Samira doesn't bring cleanse, That's what you're going to be doing, and I would be
Yeah.
too. That's absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, barrier's very strong in the bot lane meta right now, but when those stuns come through, you're absolutely dead in the water as Samira if you don't have that cleanse.
Like Leona has 3 forms of a CC. They're gonna try and pick off the Leona here, and they're gonna be able to do so. But it's Gragas who gets the kill. I mean, Samira just is not picking up those kills that she desperately needs. It's a nice play from Purdue, though. They make a nice proactive play. They should be able to dive this Ashe. They don't find the CC on her. The Graves will find a nice hold, but there's a double suppress. Is Samira going to be able to find anything?
Barrier's insane!
Oh my goodness. This Samira just loves saving her flash. Second time. She could have just flash Q'd and would have killed an Ashe there. Could have killed the Graves as well. I mean, a nice play from St. Clair in response to find it there. This Cannon's going to take another poor trade. I think St. Clair are just mechanically outplaying a Purdue here from the look of things.
They definitely are, and I gotta say, that Ashe had absolutely impeccable spacing and impeccable use of barrier just at the perfect timing, like 2 HP left in the bank, 20 HP left in the bank. Wow, just barely outliving that fight when it looked like it definitely shouldn't have went their way. Now we look over at Noggin here up in the top. You have to see if you have a good means of approach on this cannon. I mean, you can't get too greedy when you see a little bit of Skarner. You're going to take a lot of damage here. You're under tower. You have to pop the ult.
They can't kill this Aatrox.
No, they can't. That ult's going to sustain Aatrox all throughout that fight. Cannon running for their life.
Purdue seem like they've mentally fallen apart here after that play. Badrick Grimes, beautiful mechanics. That's what good mechanics looks like, says Badrick Grimes, and finds the kill. Plays it pixel perfect. I mean, this game is still very early on, but I'm already saying this is going to be a very, very hard game for Purdue to win. St. Clair, they're going to find the Ashe arrow on this Gragas, and he instantly falls down. This Samira, you don't have cleanse. You're going to get stunned up. You're dead as well. I mean, this game is just a wrap, I feel like. I mean, St. Clair are just going to blow this goal lead open, and there's nothing you can do if you're beside Purdue.
Yeah, we're 12 minutes in, and St. Clair absolutely trouncing Purdue Gold right now. I mean, there's no other word for it. 13-5, 12 minutes in, St. Clair getting kill almost every minute, actually exceeding that rate of kills. I don't know how they're going to recover this one. St. Clair are going to have to make a lot of mistakes to throw away this lead.
I mean, even with mistakes made, the team composition is not good. The Samira has found 0 values now in 2 games with that barrier. Instead of going for the cleanse, has just been dying over and over into the Leona. Corki, I mean, he hasn't been playing bad, this Corki. The Xerath just has 8 kill participation in 12 minutes. I mean, there's not much you can do. Yeah, he died once, but that is literally it. This Xerath being super far ahead, I mean, that's definitely going to be the win con here for St. Clair. It's just a very strong champion that's killed early on.
Yeah, very, very strong. I mean, there's no other way to put that. Now, St. Clair, they'll have a lot of freedom here. And that's when things get serious. That's when you start to make a little bit too confident mistakes, and that's how the enemy team comes back. They gotta play just clean, relax, don't overcommit. They can't dive this. What are they doing here?
They are trying. Let's see how it goes. Can they kill the Ashe? The ultimate misses. They get the nice stun onto the Ashe, but the kill does come through. They get the shutdown. This Samira, I mean, is having a lot of hard times. You're trying to get the ultimate ready. The Xerath picks up the second kill there. Now 9 stacks on that Dark Seal. Oh, the Cannon ultimate is not the best here. The kill comes out again. I mean, Saints are absolutely slaughtering Purdue Gold, who have just completely fallen apart.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you don't look at the kill line, if you don't look at any of all that, just look at the bounties, and you can definitely tell how this game is going. 9 stacks on the Dark Seal in mid. We got 2 kills up top, 0 deaths up top. We gotta applaud that. And of course, the Graves just finding the important objectives and keeping things moving. But I gotta say, Purdue Gold, they got the grubs. They got 5 grubs. They didn't get that 6th grub buff, though.
I don't know if that's going to be the difference in this game. I'm going to keep it honest. Could be a difference if a bad Rick Grime goes down here. Samira's going to pick up that shutdown. I mean, it's something. It was for a Rift Herald, and you know, I feel like normally you wouldn't be like, oh, Samira got the kill. Oh, like that's bad. I mean, into
Not
their
this
team
game.
comp, I just don't think that's the case. Samira would need to be like 4 items before anyone on St. Clair's even at 3 to really get that kind of value.
And now Soa in the bot lane just given free reign to take that tower. Everybody's up top, keeping things looking nice. Kennen, sure, you're going to get some tower damage up on there, but I don't think that's going to save you the game at this point.
Gonna try and kill the Aatrox before he gets back to lane here. Let's see if that works out for the side of Purdue. It's not a bad play. I don't think Naga will be expecting this at all. Gets the stun. Another stun comes through. They should be able to get this kill. Aatrox with no ultimate just yet. Gets the 3-man knock-up. Will fall down to the Scorner. If he had ultimate there, that play would have been a disaster. He would have killed all 3 of them. But on the flip side of the map, St. Clair so far ahead. They're going to take this dragon for free. It's a good counterplay from Purdue. It's kind of the only thing they could do.
Unfortunately, I think teleport might have been the play from Nagan there. Just get there a little bit safer, a little bit quicker. Unfortunately, not going to be the play. And how could you know? They lost a lot of time and a lot of value waiting for that play. Sure, you kill the Aatrox, cook a little nice bounty, but it's not going to be an absolute game flipper here. But if you can stop this rift, it might be. I mean,
what is this rift?
I don't know what this rift is. It's absolutely, like, if they got in it, maybe that's a play. You drift it in, get the hit in at least, but no.
I don't know why they didn't just take the free first tier 1 there. I mean, interesting play from St. Clair. Maybe they know some tempo stuff that I don't, and maybe they have some secrets picked up. But it looks like both teams don't really like Rift Herald. They just kind of throw it away and let the enemy team kill it.
Remember in the ye old days when you had 2 Rift Heralds instead of Grubs?
I did play in those ancient times.
It's ancient times, good times, but now the new times are here, and the Saints are loving these new times. It looks like they have double the amount of kills that Purdue Gold has. I mean, if we could take a look at the gold difference, I'm sure it would be absolutely blown wide open. It's a 4K gold difference, only 16 minutes in.
Yeah, and it could be even more, but Purdue have made some good plays to get some advantages somewhere on the map. I mean, the Skarner has 4 kills. It's just not what you love to see from Purdue. I mean, you definitely want those kills on someone else, but hey, 4 kills is 4 kills. Good job to Skarner. This Kennen is so scared that Nagan is sitting in the other bush. Meanwhile, Nagan is just sitting here chilling, waiting for the Kennen to make some kind of mistake. And down in bot lane, this Zerath just easily going to withhold this push from the side of Purdue.
Yeah, it's hard to catch Corky when you're just zooming in, flying on that kite. I mean, there's no turret. They could have ran it down if they wanted to. A lot of pressure, though, from this Aatrox to try and take this tower. He doesn't have an absolute unstoppable lead. I mean, the matchup's tough at this point in the game, but he only has 2 kills, only 1 kill on that Kennen.
Yeah, that is true, but Aatrox is relatively tanky at this point in the game, can kind of just easily take all the poke needed, and he gets ganked. He can just use that ultimate heal up from the Skarner. He's just slowly looking to take away this top tier 1, as that's going to be a nice boost in his economy.
Exactly, that's what you're looking for right now. St. Clair definitely feeling the pressure start to wane. I mean, those boosts they got in the early game are still reverberating to at this point, but it's not as quite a big of a lead as it used to be. That's now a 3K gold difference at this point. Badrick Grimes securing that tower for the team, and now I think it's just going to come down to St. Clair slowly choking out Purdue Gold, preventing them from getting objective, any lead, and just taking the slow game from here.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. If you're on the side of St. Clair, you want to get in those deep wards. You don't want to let Purdue get out of their base too much. Now all tier 1s have been dropped. There's a lot more space on the map for St. Clair, but also a little bit more room for error. They have like a certain line they can't go past, and there's going to be Badrick Grimes. Gets knocked up. The flash from Samira gets that kill. Can't go on the Ashe. No, won't be able to find that. Beautiful play, though, from this Gragas. Gets to Samira another kill. And with a couple more kills, I mean, this Samira could get back into the game.
I mean, yeah, he definitely could be. So, trying to defend this turret here with the bot laner. That's a big ult by Skarner, but there's the Aatrox as well. And you always can't count out the Xerath almost cross the map dunking on them with those basketballs he loves to shoot out.
A great job by the Xerath. Has been such a good pick so far in this game with that global ultimate. And they're able to find the ultimate onto the Leona, but the Ashe did flash out, and then Samir is just way too far up, trying to find the follow-up. Does fall down in the meantime as well. The rest of the cookies crumble as Skarner goes down, and it's just St. Clair finding another team fight. The Kenoto is massive on 2-3, finds 1. Should be able to find a second A nice little play there coming out from Phantom. Gang actually going to be able to stay alive, and Leona live too. How is that even possible? I think this Leona will die with some. Actually, I'm not too sure.
He hooked the wall.
I mean, Gragas is wasting a lot of time chasing here. A lot of Purdue's people are just chasing way too long here with the dragon being up in 28 seconds. I mean, I don't know if that's the best play. Leona gonna walk this one off. There's a huge team fight in mid lane. It's gonna be the Leona dead. The cannon falls down as well in the mid lane. Xerath lands that stun. They're able to pick up this corner as well. And from that disastrous position, St. Clair still win a team fight. They're gonna get this third dragon, put themselves on soul point.
I mean, St. Clair absolutely running away with this game, but there are a few good plays coming through from Purdue Gold, and honestly, if they play this one absolutely perfectly, I can definitely see them coming back here. It's going to be tough, though.
Yeah, it's going to be still really tough for Purdue. I mean, St. Clair, even after a fight where Purdue did everything right, still St. Clair taking in. A lot of flashes were used by both sides in the last fight. I mean, Purdue has 0 flashes left for the next upcoming fight. And this Xerath has been completely untouched this entire game. Still has that flash up, no problem. Has 2 items, has 10 stacks on that Dark Seal. I mean, Codito is really having a great performance.
Great is an understatement. It's absolutely fantastic performance, if I do say so myself. I mean, but Xerath is a walking bag of money at this point. If someone can cash that in on the side of Purdue Gold, they'll be more than gold. They'll be platinum at that point, and they'll be very, very rich indeed. But actually, killing Xerath might put them in closing distance of this gold differential.
Yeah.
But honestly, St. Clair just playing their lead very, very well.
There goes Phantom.
Phantom getting locked out here. We see a teleport coming through as well. This could be an absolute big fight here in the top lane. Corki coming in as the cavalry. And now things aren't looking too good.
Xerath. He's hitting every shot.
Oh, he got it anyways with the comet.
Goodness, I mean, Codito is hitting every shot on the Xerath, but I have to be careful here. Nags gonna be able to dodge this Cardinal. Can he stay alive on this Aatrox? Yes, we'll be able to do so. Hits the Q. Here comes the Leona. Where is the Ashe? The Ashe is sitting mid lane. Why is Ashe sitting mid lane as our Graves falls down? I mean, she's gonna be able to get that turret. It's a slow chase here now from St. Clair's. They look to stop the backs of Purdue Gold. They're trying to slow them down. The Gragas will be able to get back to base. We'll stop that Ashe from pushing. In the end, it's a 1-for-1. St. Clair, though, do get a mid tier 2 in the meantime.
Get a mid tier 2, and that's pretty good. That opens up the map quite a bit, putting themselves into a further lead and just having so much more flexibility to move across the map. And now Purdue really cornered in here to a very small section of the map. I mean, their jungle is going to be encroached on eventually, and it's going to just be a very rough time from there. And we're about 3 minutes out from Ocean Soul, which I think is relatively decent for St. Clair right now. According to their team comp, it's not looking all too bad. I mean, they have that Aatrox, they have that Leona, you know, having a little bit of extra regen, a little bit of extra defense. That's going to be pretty nice.
Absolutely, you are spot on with that one. The Ocean Soul would be a nice little addition to the Saints. Already great game, as Aatrox is going to be the one that's sitting up top, battling against that cannon. Still on 1 item, 24 minutes into the game. That's definitely not a good sign, but in a very tough matchup. Is up CS, is doing a great job of just staying alive, which is the Aatrox's main job. And I said Purdue, they trust this top laner time and time again. They give him the counter pick. Now 1-6 on this cannon in a counter matchup. I mean, if you're Purdue Gold and you lose this game, do you rethink about giving your top laner the counter pick? What do you think about that one?
I think you definitely rethink that. I think you just try and play what you're good at. I think Kennen was definitely not the best pick here. Or maybe it was the best pick on paper, but
yeah.
In terms of comfortability, I don't think Phantom really is a Kennen main. I could be completely off the money here. Maybe Nagin is just the best Aatrox player in collegiate.
Could be possible.
But honestly, I might see a Xerath ban after this game, because this Xerath just absolutely running away with it. I mean, so much value from so far away, it's hard to stop that, but they get a turret. They're doing a very good job at playing.
Oh, look at the damage. They find a kill onto the Gragas so easily, and Codito is so fed. Oh my goodness, 10 kills on the Xerath. He just one-shot that one. And it's going to be the Aatrox on the flank. Samira has both Sums available. Cannon finds the flash. Can they find the kill onto the Aatrox? There's going to be the double suppress. Can the Samira get the ult off? Just gets obliterated. Can't find anything as now the chase is coming through. The stun from Leona hits. They pick up the cannon. The Graves falls in the meantime, but it's going to be the tower taken here. Looking to take the inhibitor, but the stun lands Codito yet again. Beautiful play. St. Clair gonna get the ace here as they look to take this inhibitor. Probably gonna move on to the Soul afterwards. Actually, they're not even gonna take the inhibitor.
Not even. They don't need it just yet. You want to prio that Soul #1 priority here. As we look over, Badrick Grimes isn't up though, so do you want to try and take this? This Skarner's going to be up before he is. I think you just want to try and get the vision, isolate this one down, play it slow. You don't want to get caught out by a steal.
Yeah, I mean, Soul is a very nice win con here for St. Clair, so this is the perfect way to play it. Wait till your Graves is up and then choose to take it, as Purdue can look for the steal with the Skarner. They're not even going to start it up. They're just going to wait until Graves is back in action.
Oh, they are going to start.
They're going to get a Xerath ultimate very early on. I mean, one more kills. That Gragas doesn't have another shot, but gets a lot of damage down on the engage of it. And beautiful snipe. Blind gets it through the wall. St. Clair just firing on all cylinders. And look at the wombo combo. All of Purdue Gold gonna go down. That's going to be a 4-for-0 ace. Now St. Clair could move to the Baron, but they could just look to straight up end the game on this next midway.
I mean, yeah, I think you're going to go for a game end here. Maybe even go for one more kill on the Skarner. You can't really go for that Baron when he's up there. Definitely just lock that one down. Pull back into the fray. Slam. And this Xerath. Just one more snipe will do it. No, it's going to be Badrick Grimes. I mean, those are the star players here, along with the Ashe. He's absolutely getting so many kills, and I think this is the end for Purdue Gold in this game of 3. St. Clair about to take the series lead here. Purdue Gold struggling on with all that damage. No way to close the gap really at this point. I mean, Samira goes in, one last ditch effort. A triple kill is the confirm. St. Clair, after a very tough game 1, a very hard fought game 2, takes game 3 in an absolute landslide.
Yeah, beautiful play there from St. Clair. They have a beautiful composition and they play it nice into their opponents. And now Purdue, they have a lot to think about. They've picked the Samira twice kind of randomly and it just hasn't worked out. They gave their top laner counter pick every game. That definitely has not worked out. I mean, you have to definitely talk as a team, sit down, say, guys, we went 7-1 in the regular season for a reason. Let's lock in and lock it on to game 4. But St. Clair need to be on the same page. They need to be as locked in as ever now on serious point, trying to make it to the grand finals.
Hey, you want to try and make it all the way to the grand finals? I mean, you had that long regular season, and now it's come down to this. It's not come down to this just yet. They still have a game to lose if they need to, but honestly,
you don't want to see that game.
You don't want to see that game. You want to carry the momentum, go for a little bit of a, I don't want to say reverse sweep, but just sweeping from that one loss, turning the momentum around, a little bit of a pendulum swing. And we will see if they can win it all right here in this next game 4. With all that being said, we're going to throw it over to a very quick break, and we'll see you then. 1, 2, and the St. Clair team is looking to buckle their shoe with this one and take it 3-1. We're seeing the same bands come out once again. And I think I was right on the money in my last estimation of the draft. Mbessa was not picked at all.
True.
And I don't think we're going to see that happen again.
True, you are spot on with that one there. And yeah, I think both teams realizing maybe this champ, it's just not it. Not it today. Maybe it's just not the pick.
It could also just not even be the champ, but the lack of practice some of these people have. It's only been out 2 weeks, a month, maybe at most.
And that champion, you need a lot of, you need to know how it works. And Purdue gonna install Gragas again.
A lot of mechanical skill on Mbessa. I mean, if you play it right, it's absolutely brutal. But the Gragas pick from Purdue, I like to see it, and I like to see this.
Oh.
I like the Viego pick. That's my main right there. I have every skin in the game for that guy. I do. I was playing him since launch, so it's been a few years.
Every skin is crazy.
Yes. That's shouldn't be saying that too proudly. I don't want to give Riot Games too much, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, it's good skins.
They're good skins. Skins. I mean, and the Ash pick, that's a good pick as well. I'm just excited to see Viego. I'm gonna geek out a little bit. It's always fun to see what a player can do when they're given every champ in the game. If you can find that pick.
Yeah, Badger Grimes, kind of one of the better players on this St. Clair roster, kind of known as a really good player, and I just hope for the love of God, Purdue don't pick Ivern into Ash. I mean, they did it once and it did not work at all. I mean, Purdue have maybe lost the plot a little bit. They're going for the Vex pick, which did work out well for them, we have to say. Vex.
I don't mind their draft here. They're picking what has worked. I mean, the Gragas worked in the last game. The Ivern worked in a few games before.
Gragas did not work in the last game.
It didn't win them the game, but I think it wasn't their weak point in that game.
It was. He made some good plays.
Yeah, it was all right. I think maybe the Corky wasn't the best. Oh, what is going on here? Okay, we're actually locking in the Renekton, a little bit of a fake out there, making our drop just that much harder, huh?
And I just want to say real quick, no Akshan ban, which we've seen the entire series so far, hasn't been banned, hasn't been picked. So interesting play by Purdue, I believe, who was banning it out. And
they don't want the Graves on the field this time.
Yeah, they got rid of the Graves. Aatrox, that's going to be the pickup again for St. Clair. I mean, this time St. Clair kind of get to dictate what top matchup looks like. It could have been anything picked into that Renekton, but the Aatrox worked so well last time. Why not run it back?
Exactly. You're already dialed in on that champ. You don't have to make any adjustments. I mean, I played that Aatrox very well, very patiently, just getting those pokes. And I haven't seen an Aatrox with Comet in a while, so
yeah, you won't see it this game.
Yeah, you don't really need that much poke. And now the Xerath ban. That's smart. That Xerath had 15 kills at the end of the game.
It was a good ban.
Good ban. I mean, you got to stop the bleeding where it is. But now that Akshan mid is still open.
It is still open. I mean, St. Clair did ban out the Vex with their first ban. What do they want to pick up here with the second? The problem with Akshan is enemy team. Like, if St. Clair pick it, Purdue is so tanky. I mean, they are so tanky. Akshan, not the best champion. It's a tanky champions, but I mean, it could be good if he gets really far ahead. Silas gonna be banned out here for the side of St. Clair. Purdue now looking to find a band that St. Clair really want to pick up. I mean, what are you expecting here?
I'll tell you what I'm not expecting, actually. It's staring me right in the face right here. I haven't seen Echo played in collegiate ever.
You won't see it.
It's absolutely insane.
It's terrible.
It's a wild pick. I think it could have some success, but it's hard to pull off.
You don't understand. There's no room for success. Like, the champion is just not built to be played.
That's fair.
In a controlled environment. Leona, though, is a champ that's built for any environment. I mean, very strong champ. Has been played, I think, every game of the series so far by one side or another. And St. Clair has definitely gotten the better of that Leona. Purdue's ADC refuses to go cleanse. It's not something that's in the arsenal there. Maybe it hasn't leveled up enough, hasn't unlocked it.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I doubt that's the case. You've been there?
I was jungling without smite to start out. I was playing Viego because I was like, he looks so cool.
He is cool.
And first champ also, which is a crazy first champ. But I learned everything from that champ. Annie, mid.
Nyla,
Neela, also a very good pickup.
I mean, wait.
It's good into the Ash.
Who's the support? Is it Gragas support again?
I think it's Gragas support again. It could be Ivern support. Gragas jungle is a little bit of a flex there.
I don't think Ivern can be played anywhere but the jungle in the current state of the game. But the Nyla, I mean, that's a very, very interesting pick. That's not a champion you see a lot in solo queue or in like the highest level of play.
Which is crazy because she's really good.
She's really good. I mean, the thing is, I'm a Samira one trick. I despise this Nyla champion. It's just my champion, but a lot better. So I could see why Purdue are playing it. It's literally just a better version of Samira. Samira hadn't worked at all for them in the last few games, and just go for the better brother there, or better sister, I guess, in Nyla. And Victor gonna be picked up by St. Clair to close out the comp. I mean, St. Clair have been playing the same champs, of rinse, of repeat. It's been working out for them. And, it's a bit of a switch up from Purdue going for the Annie and the Nyla. But I still think St. Clair, the way they've been playing, I mean, they're looking really good.
Yeah, they're looking absolutely amazing. And I'm just excited to see Viego. That's the only thing I can focus on. It's so fun to watch a champion that's so built on those domino effect plays. I mean, you get one, you turn to the other, get some util, you switch up every single kill. It's always just so fun to see. And I also like the picks from St. Clair. Honestly, with how this is going, I don't know how much more we could guess. It's back and forth, but if I had to hope for one, I think it's going to be St. Clair.
Yeah, I mean, last game was the first game we kind of actually got right, where St. Clair's draft was just too good. They ran back the same draft. We weren't going to be fooled twice this time. I mean, the drafts are a little bit more different. We have an Annie, we have an Isla, we have this, we have that, but still St. Clair stick to their same bases. They have the Aatrox top, the Leona, and instead of the Xerath, they have the Victor, which is also really good. So, I mean, it's just a solid comp from both teams.
It's definitely a solid comp on all sides. With all that being said, we've speculated all that we can. All that's left is to see if St. Clair can perform and close this one out. We're going to throw it over to a very quick break, and we'll see you very soon. St. Clair knocking on the doorstep of victory here. 1 game away in this best of 5. Purdue Gold also a game or 2 away. St. Clair didn't have the best run game 1, but they really adapted, focused in, dialed in, figured out what works. Now, I have no idea what Purdue is going to do to adapt.
Yeah, I think St. Clair definitely have a bit of an upper hand on Purdue over these last few games. They've definitely been playing really well, and they're trying to get something out of this Aatrox no. And yeah, it's just a pretty regular start so far to start off game 4.
Trying to get some interesting early game plays, but that's not going to work. Those tricks don't work against the Saints anymore. And now we move into position. 1 minute into the game, people are just lining up. You can definitely feel the tension here. It's much more palpable in this early game, because last time it was all decided in the early game. St. Clair got an early game lead and started to just run away with it. They knew the mistakes Purdue were going to make. They knew when to strike, and that is what it is all about. Noggin here, just taunting him here, keeping him at bay, keeping him away from the minions, and that's going to be a little bit disastrous here.
Yeah, from the look of things, Viego is going to be pathing from top to bottom, and the enemy team's jungler, the Ivern, is going to be pathing bot to top. So junglers aren't going to be on the same side of the map before the end of the first clear here. And it's going to be the Aatrox trying to stay alive, and on the flip side, this Nilagrag is trying to stay alive through that Viego gank. But up until then, shouldn't be expecting any kills from either team.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any kills go either way just yet, especially when how volatile this game has been in terms of kills. Just looking at the laning phase right now, the Saints, I think, getting a little bit too aggressive in the bot lane. Aatrox has the right idea here. Just play back, keep things moving. A big slow push being built up in mid. As we see, the Saints have them cornered, can't overextend there in the bot lane. But overall, they can't really push up too far.
Yeah, pretty standard laning from everyone so far. The Viego is pathing bot, and looks like Ivern will be pathing bot as well, actually. So both junglers going to be at a bot side here, ready to fight a 3v3 skirmish whenever it is available for either side. I think both teams are fine with fighting early, but I definitely like the St. Clair fight in the early stages. If you can get a reset for your Viego, you used to win. But a beautiful 2v2 fight here coming out from Purdue. I'm not too sure what even happened. How the creator not use flash, not use barrier, just kind of got knocked up by the Gragas, who didn't even flash. And just a great start to this game number 4 for Purdue. That's a huge kill.
I think the key word is getting too comfortable there. You don't want to push up too far. I feel like you have a lot of room to breathe, especially if you're Ash, and I don't know what's happening up here in the top lane. It's a very risky trade for Aatrox this early.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a better trade for the Renekton. Is now they were going to dive this ball in again, but they're not able to do so here. Nyla getting the first kill, I mean, that's beautiful. Accelerates that champion so much, and this could be a solo kill coming out here. Nagin won't get the chain. A beautiful trade from Phantom, who has flash. Will definitely look to flash here. It's going to be bad Ray Grimes though, making sure that does not happen. Flashes, makes sure gets the kill early. A beautiful gank from the Viego, gets him a kill and gets a bit of a saves Aatrox's lane a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good recovery right there. Great gank, and that's what you got to do to keep this game nice and even. Actually, they're slightly in the lead by less than 100 gold, but hey, that'll start to add up here. Another engage, though. I don't know why Noggin didn't choose to go for a back here. I know you want to secure a push on the top, but you got to be very careful when you're that low.
Oh, yeah, he's dead. I mean,
he's dead.
Yeah, Nagin is trying to break the freeze before he backed, and you know, it's not the worst death in the world. It does give a little bit of gold over, but now you're going to teleport back to this turret. You're going to buy the items you wanted to buy anyway. You're going to get the wave to go in your favor. So in the end, it's not the worst play ever, but you know, dying is never really a good thing.
It's never a good thing. That's one thing I've learned, is you never want to die in League. That was my rookie mistake, is I would run it down, be like, if I get a kill, it's all good. But even if you die 3 times for 1 kill, it's usually not worth it unless they have like a 900 gold bounty.
Yeah.
At this point, though, Creator Soa all on their lonesome here in the bot lane. It's not a good thing to see this early into the game.
Yeah, definitely not. Just took half of his HP for no reason, and now this Leona has to come help this Ashe, otherwise she will get dove 2v1 here. This Gragas support pick has been very, very good this game, getting a lot of poke early on, as he has a Dark Seal on that Gragas. That's a very interesting start for the support Gragas, and Nyla got a pickaxe just hitting away at these minions. Nice last hitting. Good job so far from both teams. I mean, a relatively even game. A lot of the gold might be up near this top lane because Renekton looking for another kill here. This is a good trade from the Ashe. Gets a quarter of HP out of that Nyla. Level 6 now on the Renekton. Aatrox still trying to get to level 6. Now is able to get it. Now in the 1v1s, I mean, it's going to be a complete shootout here between these two champs.
Yeah, it's going to be just an absolute brawl up here in the top lane. I mean, they both have ultimate if they choose to commit it.
What a dodge. I mean, they can kill this Ivern. They're actually going to land onto the Nyla.
No.
Can they find enough damage to find the kill? They're going to choose to turn on to Gragas, but has no flash. The reset should come through for Diego. Should be able to get the knock up on the Nyla as well, who chooses not to flash. They get the stun onto the Ivern. The Nyla now going to go in with Bad Rig Grimes. I mean, a beautiful play there from the Saints. Bad Rig Grimes getting another huge gank, and now we're going to see top lane, a flash by the Renekton. Does he have enough damage to find the kill here? I think he does. This Aatrox trying to stay alive though, does live on 1 HP. A good try there from the Renekton, but burned his flash and ultimate. Was not able to pick up the kill. This Aatrox should most certainly back here though, because this kill will come through easily for Renekton. I don't know what he thought would happen there. Still, ball lane though, it's looking very good for St. Clair.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That Aatrox, maybe a little bit of anxiety, not wanting to run too far back. But yeah, he was out. You're down and out anyways. Might as well make a run for it down the lane, try and go for the back. But nevertheless, it's not going to be looking all too good up there, but it's looking pretty good down there in the bot lane. And if you get this Viego fed enough, it should still be competitive. I mean, it's going to be tough against that Renekton if the Renekton keeps getting kills like this, but if you can stop the bleeding up there in the top, leave the jungler to go for the ganks when you need them, you should be able to try and snowball from there.
And one thing we haven't spoken about at all this game, because it's been literally useless, is the mid lane.
It's been deadlocked.
No kills, no assists, just pure farming, and he's going to be up a tiny bit of farm there to 8 minutes into the game, but
it's a 1 point.
It's a 1 CS difference. I mean, it's literally just been 2 mid laners sitting AFK mid farming, and the rest of the teams have just been battling it out.
He's in the lead now by 2. What absolute turnaround there in the mid. I'm kidding, I'm joking. But they're up there in the top lane though, or close to the top lane I should say, up on Grub. This is going to be Viego getting 1 on the board for the team 2. Can they get all 3? That's the question on everyone's mind, and he should very well get them. Right now though, Dragon going over to Purdue. First Dragon being Ocean, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit of heal regen there. Not too bad at all. But the Grubs definitely looked at to be kind of the stronger objective, because it just lets you get a lot of gold, and gold is king in the game, like League of Legends. It's in the ball lane. This Greg is now level 6. That's when he really becomes dangerous. One bad misstep, you're getting ulted, you are dead.
Yeah, just one small slip up, and then it's all downhill from there. Big knock
there it is.
Up, and that's going to be it. That's the stun, but Leona salvages it from the brink. I mean, is that wishing and hoping they could do more here, but you don't want to waste that chance.
I mean, the only thing Purdue used there was the Gragas ult, and that's it. St. Clair used a barrier, they used flash. I mean, it's a huge trade here for Purdue, and they're definitely cooking up a little bit with this Gragas support pick and the Nyla ADC. It's been working relatively well in the 2v2. It's just Bad Rig Grimes has done a great job of making sure the lead there doesn't get too big.
And Phantom right now proxying the wave, just getting bigger and bigger crashes, absolutely ruling this top lane. I mean, right now, the Saints, I say, are probably struggling. They're struggling in the bot lane, struggling in the top lane. Sure, they're winning jungle.
Oh, here's Bad Rig Grimes again on the gank. Looking to find the kill. The Ivern is here, but I don't think he'll be able to stay alive. Can the Viego find the ultimate? No, he knows the shield will come through. Waits it out. Wait for the Victor. Does get out in time. Almost the kill comes through for this Nyla. The Victor, definitely a big factor in that one. I mean, you could see how strong this Nyla is, though. 1v3 did so much damage. tried to get the trade kill. Still a good gank again from Bad Rig Grimes.
I mean, that's going to be the only time you're going to be able to do that. Once that Nila gets to the collector there in their arsenal, I mean, Viego's not going to be able to escape like that again.
Absolutely not. And there's a flash burn by Codito. I mean, Purdue are hard stomping this top lane, and around the rest of the map it's been relatively even. Codito can't even walk back to his lane, and I think this Victor might be going down. Does get hit by all the CC. I mean, the Ash arrow is coming through. Bad Rig Grimes has made his way to the top lane, but they cannot kill this Renekton. But still, now they're gonna try. I don't know why this Renekton stood there for so long, just kind of face tanking all the damage, didn't use any abilities. Does get taken down, but in the meantime, Victor forced out of mid lane. There's going to be a lot of gold going over to Purdue off of the plates.
Mr. Adi having to move up there to try stop that tower from falling. I mean, Hagen going to try and make the best out of a bad situation here. Use that advantage that Bad Rig Grimes gave him. Going to go for a back, buy some items, come back just that much stronger. And now we're at a bit of an impasse here. Grubs are going to be spawning at the same time as Dragon once again. So St. Clair give them those 2 dragons there. Do you try and go for the 6 grubs?
I absolutely think they should do that. If you usually rule of thumb, if you get the first 3 grubs, you should play for the 6 grubs. I mean, it's a good play. The 6 grubs can give you so much gold. Yes, it is a little bit late into the game for the 6 grubs. You won't have the 6 grubs to get as many turrets as you would like to and get as many plates. But still, it's like one team fight can lead to an extra whole turret because of those grubs. And I think St. Clair should definitely look to play around it. But it is going to be tough because this Renekton is so much stronger than the Aatrox.
So much stronger. Fant just gracefully outmaneuvering that tower range, moving in, trying to go on this Aatrox, but the damage is just too much for the Renekton to just face tank that.
And what's interesting is this game, they just told Phantom, hey, pick your comfort. Oh, there's going to be a team fight coming in here. Gragas goes a little bit too deep. Beautiful flashes. The ults come out. Can they find the kill? No, they don't. Nyla going to find the initial kill. They find the second, but the Annie stuns are too much. A 2-for-2 trade. Down goes the Ashe, and down goes everybody. It's going to be a 4-for-2 fight here for the side of Purdue Gold as they take a huge advantage in this game for a quadra kill for the Annie.
That's absolutely insane. And now that giant bounty over on Bad Rig Grimes is going to just be handed over to that Annie, and after such a deadlocked mid game, it's been blown wide open, not even by the mid laner in particular.
A huge fight there for Purdue Gold as they get themselves back in the game and actually take the lead here. So a great job from them. They matched the TPs perfectly. They played everything in that team fight perfectly, and yeah, I mean, the only problem here for St. Clair, you pick this Viego, he gets really fed. Oh, a one-on-one going here in the top lane. I mean, this could be going in the way of St. Clair. This Renekton should fall again. Gragas, do we have no ultimate there coming down? But as I was saying, they have this fed Viego. They couldn't get him a reset in that team fight because the Nyla can just say, hey guys, you can't auto-attack me at this moment. And you can't auto-attack the Nyla. There's not much more to say about that as they're looking to play for the grubs. Don't let the Gragas steal it. I beg you, Bad Rig Grimes. Just use that smite as we're gonna get a team fight here for sure. Let's see how it goes. Can they find the initial pick? Aatrox gonna get ignited. The Gragas ult is pretty big, but doesn't find too much of Leona. They're looking to pick up that Gragas initially. Can they find it? Bad Rig Grimes just gonna leave. He's not even gonna try and fight the one. They're gonna let this Aatrox die. TP comes through. It's another great fight from Purdue as they're gonna look to clean up the Leona here.
And Saints just 1 away from the 6 grubs. They're 5 grubs.
Five's good.
It's good, but you don't get that absolutely massive 6 passes that you get them all. So though, just chugging in on that bot lane, taking down the turret, just getting a little bit more freedom in the pocket there. What does Bad Rig Grimes do here? You're clearing top jungle. Sure, you had a good early game, but at this point, it's been blown wide open. You can't really go for ganks at this point.
Oh, you're dead. I mean, the Annie is so fed. 6-0-1 now, just annihilates Greater Soul, and I mean, not a lot of counterplay to that. Annie playing. Annie, a very, very good champion now that has 6 kills. I mean, this is going to be a big, big problem for St. Clair, especially since Annie's paired up along with Hybrid.
Yeah, that's going to be very tough, especially with Malignance there. Every swing from Tippers is going to be absolutely brutal. They're going to lose bot lane tower here as well. And even though they're just 2 kills away, the Ivern 0 kills. Badrick Grimes 4 and
shutdown
1
here.
isn't going to be too much, but Tibber is just too hard to deal with, I think, for Badrick Grimes solo. If they can isolate this Annie, they might as well do it. There's the ultimate, there's the stun.
Oh, big Victor got it.
That's going to be big. Victor's back in the game. I mean, you need some key kills like that to stay competitive.
I mean, that kill going on Victor is best case scenario, and the fact that Badrick Grimes is also good news. A nice proactive play there by the Saints as they get a lot of gold in their pockets. In the meantime, though, Purdue just sitting in mid, taking some space slowly. Top lane, I mean, this Eclipse has been bought by this Renekton. Aatrox yet to get his first item, so it's good trades by Renekton. He should be winning most of these short trades as expected. And, you know, it's a pretty even game, I would have to say. I mean, I definitely would say Purdue at the moment has a bit of an edge because Aaron has 2 items, but other than that, St. Clair are trying to stay in it.
I find it funny, Ivern 0 kills is 100 gold bounty, but getting those assists, you know, providing value to the team. Hey, as long as you're not dying, you're providing even more value. The Rift Barrel being dropped down there in the mid lane. Phantom going for an absolute super push on this Aatrox. Not going to find the kill though. The slam comes through. That tower is dangerously low at this point.
But it does stay alive, which gives St. Clair a bit of life to work. But can they look for a team fight here is the question. They should, but the Annie is coming in hot. You have to be careful. The Ashe ult lands onto the Gragas. Can they find the kill? They won't be able to find it. Badrick Grimes won't get the reset, and there it goes. St. Clair, I mean, that's how they want to play it. They want to get the kill, but is Gragas the best option? Ashe gonna get hit by that Q from the Ivern. It's a complete team wipe from Purdue. One tiny mistake. Someone couldn't get enough damage on that Gragas, and that's how you lose the game in one team fight from St. Clair. I mean, Purdue played it well, to be fair.
They played it absolutely well indeed. I think this Annie getting so fed was the turning point. It's hard to stop this mid lane push, especially when there's just so much value going over there. And
if they kill that Gragas, they win it, I think.
I think so, yeah, you get the reset. Viego is the domino champ of all domino champs. You need that first initial kill to set the chain reaction off. If you can't get the chain reaction going, you're just going to be dead in the water there, just doing not all too much, getting caught off guard, too deep in, eventually drown. As we see the Saints somehow struggling on up there in the top lane. This Aatrox doing decent damage, but
now he's good.
I think there's a little bit of anxiety happening here. You're really overcommitting there, especially when you have no wave with you.
I mean, they both just kind of used their ultimate, but yeah, Aatrox now with the Thunder Sky gonna be probably a little bit stronger than this Renekton in the one-on-one. So the longer this game goes, the more useful this Aatrox becomes, and the more useless this Renekton becomes. But as long as this Viego cannot find resets, the game it doesn't really matter. It solely surrounds around Badrick Grimes, especially since he was the one getting the kills. He has to be the one to carry this team in this game, and just hasn't been able to do so. They've not found the resets. 1 or 2 resets here and there. Saints could be the lead.
Got fed in the early game, but now the Siren just doing better, giving the kills over to mid and top and bottom, just spreading the love out a little bit more evenly. I mean, you don't really need to be the heavy hitter if you're Ivern. You're just there to provide support, annoyance for the team. And now, I'm going to take this crab up here, try and deny that Baron site.
Oh.
That's going to be up in a minute. Kratos caught off guard. Now the bot lane looking a little bit disastrous. Viego here, but they're really not scared of him. He gets the stun off. But Soa still going to die unless he flash over that wall.
He doesn't have flash because he just used it. Another good play. I mean, this Gragas into Ashe. I mean, it was pretty hard for the Ashe last game, but St. Clair was just so dominant they would have been, and you could see why this Gragas is so good into someone like that. They're trying to blow up this Annie, and they do get it. That's a 7-1 Annie. Now Badrick Grimes looking for the Q onto the Nyla, but doesn't get the stun. Still, can they pick up the Gragas? They do. The chase is coming down here. Can the Gragas find the Q on the Ivern? Flash is there. Good team fight by St. Clair, almost getting all the kills. I think Badrick Grimes held his Q when he's transformed to Annie and used it on Gumayukli.
Yeah, I think
Gumayukli there. That would have been a huge kill on them for the Nyla and the shutdown, but still, beautiful fight from St. Clair's. I don't think a kill will come out of this ultimate pop by the Renekton. Aatrox should be able to just walk it out here, but Badric Grams just going to come here. Now their Renekton's in a bit of trouble. Can they find the kill here? They should be able to do so. This TP is a little bit too late. Can they find the kill? No! It won't be there. The reset does come through in time. Renekton has the best cooldowns on Viego there. That's a double kill and a bad TP from the Annie. A huge play by St. Clair's. Just like that, they get themselves back into the game.
And that's why Viego's my GOAT. You get those resets, you get yourself back in the game from the brink on your dying breath. You can take the life of another and put yourself back on the board. That's what it's all about. And now St. Clair just 2 kills away, just a few K gold away from evening up that gold differential. The thing they have to worry about now is that soul. You don't want that soul going over to a team that's so tanky and so hard to kill already.
I mean, Mountain Soul, one of the better souls in the game, if I had to say so myself, and it's not something they're willing to go over 3 minutes until that team fight happens. But this Gragas has been a problem, and yet again gonna look to isolate the Ashe. Nice ice step though by Clair. He misses the Ashe arrow there. That was a free kill. Gragas didn't even flash, didn't even want to survive that. The Aatrox also used that ultimate. I mean, Kratos see with a beautiful sidestep, but you gotta hit that Ashe ultimate. That would have been a nice kill to pick up and some goals in your pocket.
Yeah, that one unfortunately didn't go the way of the Saints. Just quite. I mean, they were given the opportunity on a silver platter, but sometimes it's just hard to hit those shots in the heat of battle. Speaking of the heat of battle, things are heating up here in the bot lane. Nagan not looking too good. Viego, the sole hero, moving in, trying to turn the tides for the team. A lot of damage coming through. I mean, you get the ultimate going, down to 1 last hit, and there it is. Badric Grimes getting 1 more kill, but you're ignoring that Baron up there in the top lane. You can't really stop that one. Things are not looking good, especially when the game is that close. Aatrox could TP in, but do they have the vision to know so? They do. Now Victor's up there. It's getting down to the last few seconds. The stun goes out. Leona's going in.
It's going in, and now the Viego is moving over slowly. Can they wait for Badric Grams to get into this fight? Annie doesn't have enough damage. Kumayuki trying to find the kills, does find one, and another falls, but Badric Grams is finally here, able to find the reset onto one, finds it onto another. Can they find the chase onto this Nyla and the Gragas? Ashe has to be careful here. There the Iron Q hits. Can the Viego have enough damage to find the kill here? Will have to be careful. The Ashe arrow lands onto the Nyla. Can they follow up? No, won't be able to do so. It's a crazy team fight. Can Badric Grams, if he just had in that bush, could have maybe killed the Gragas.
Oh, you need that blast plant.
The blast plant will be there, but there's a tower shot. Still, Badric Grimes able to get out alive. Should be able to survive here. No flashes or anything from anyone here. I mean, Purdue wasted a lot of time trying to pick up that kill, but in the end, it's a 3-for-3 in the Baron for Purdue.
And he takes chickens after all that running. I mean, hey, you are what you eat, right? You gotta be a chicken to run away from them. I'm kidding. You have to. You gotta run in those scenarios. That's a smart thing to do. Can't call him chicken for that. He's got a 450 gold bounty as well, so if that kill went over, this game would be far from close. And now, speaking of close, we're just a minute away from that key dragon soul. That's what everyone's going to position themselves for. You can see Gragas there near the dragon, laying down the wards, getting the vision. You can definitely tell the anxiety on both sides are building. If the Saints get this one, they're back on top. Even if they can just get some kills out of this, can maybe turn this one around, but it's looking very, very stressful here.
I mean, it's still Purdue with a huge lead. Their ADC's up 2 level, their mid laner's up a level. I mean, so much gold on those 2 champions as well. Nyla almost has a 3 champion. This Ashe is only level 12, has 2 pretty weak items. So let's see if St. Clair, if they can close this one out. The Ashe arrow is gonna miss on to the Nyla there. Won't be able to find the kill, and now the Baron up minions. It's gonna be hard to play this one for St. Clair, but they're looking to find the Renekton. Can they find this kill very early on? Do they have the damage? Looking to find it. Yes, they do. The reset comes through. The Victor ult is huge. Can they find any more follow-up? No, they won't be able to find it. There's the Annie ult though, going down onto the Aatrox. Aatrox able to stay alive. There's 2 Tibbers. No, that's just 2 spawned in characters. That's gonna be Badric Grimes going down as the spawned units do too much there. They do find the trade, but still, this is very good for the side of Purdue. They're going to be able to find all of the kills needed from the look of things, unless Codito can pull off a miracle. It's going to be Purdue Gold taking the soul, and with that, probably going to be big favorites to take the game.
I've seen crazier miracles happen. They're chasing Codito to the ends of the earth here, ignoring the dragon. That might be enough time if you can run out the clock here for Patrick Grums to get back in the fight.
He's doing a lot of damage.
He's doing a lot of damage. They can't chase him forever. There's a trap as well. Going to stun them out. That's a lot of time wasted with no value given. And now, 5 seconds left on the clock. It's a mad dash for Viego to get over there. Leona can stun them out. That's where everyone's going. That's where the party's going to happen. We don't have a teleport on board for anyone here.
Victor has it.
Victor has it, but I think Victor is not really in the position. They're going to try and burst this down as fast as possible.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty quick here, but I think St. Clair have a chance. Iron gets hit by the Ashe ultimate. Not something we've seen too much this game, but now that they don't find the initial kill, Leona does get a stun. Can get in there? Oh! The steal doesn't come through, but can Saints win the fight here? Badrick Grimes get the trade there and does not find it. It looks like we're going to be going to a game 5. A beautiful game from Purdue. They're going to find all the kills here. They get the soul, and St. Clair now going to be a little bit too far behind to bring this one back. I mean, they tried. It was close. Purdue, though, kept pushing, and now with the soul, I just don't see how they can lose.
I don't see it either. Maybe it's a lack of, I don't even know what it is. I think Purdue's just playing very well here. They blew this game up quite a while ago. I mean, it looked like the Saints could maybe turn it around, but ignoring every single dragon, that's not how you take these long-winded games. I mean, you have 5 drugs, that's not enough to take things back from the brink here.
Yeah, and this Nyla has been a beautiful pick for Purdue. I'm surprised we didn't see it before. I don't know why, but maybe that was their secret pocket pick. They were saving that one, and I can guarantee you with a lot of guarantees we will not be seeing a Nyla in Game 5. I don't think St. Clair will allow that to happen, as it's Purdue trying to slowly close out this game, and it's going to be slow. St. Clair have pretty good wave clear, but I mean, St. Clair, they're going to try and defend, but they might be able to defend the initial push. The longer this game goes, the more struggle there is going to be. As the 3-man stun from Annie, look how much damage that is. The follow-up is there. Look at the wombo combo. Saints dropping like flies. The turrets are dropping like flies. The Nexus is about to drop as well. It's going to be Purdue Gold, tying this series up at 2 apiece as we go to the all-decisive Game 5.
Yeah, all the way to Game 5 once again. I don't see... this is how it's going to happen, you know? This is how it always runs down. It's always an absolutely amazing game, whether it's Academy or not. League of Legends is always such a volatile game, especially when it's a best of 5. I mean, best of 3, St. Clair won that. But no, we're going to go all the way here today, folks. It's a battle of endurance. It's a battle to see who can be the true rulers of the Rift and take this one all the way to the end of the playoffs. But with all that being said, folks, I don't think I have much more to say. We're just going to see how that draft in the next game looks after a quick break. 2-2. It's all come down to this game 5. It's all on the line. St. Clair brought it back 2 in a row. Purdue one and then another after 2 losses. They have the wherewithal to bring this all the way to the end. But it's all, as they say, made and lost in the draft. This is what it's all about here, Theo.
Yeah, definitely an important part of professional League of Legends is the draft. It just makes the game either a lot harder or a lot easier to play based on what characters you are playing compared to your opponents. Now, St. Clair, same bans, but they get rid of Ivan. Purdue ban Graves, Karthus, and I'm very, very surprised by this Gragas ban. Purdue has been getting it first pick every game, and I mean, St. Clair hasn't really been showing that they want to play Gragas, but they have Yone open for the first time since game 1. St. Clair found success with this one, and they're going to look to go for it again.
Did St. Clair? I think Purdue played Yone.
Oh, Purdue played, and they got success with it.
We're seeing a bit of a reverse pick situation on the teams from game 1, and I mean, that's looking good for St. Clair. They lost that game, so hopefully things continue to shape up that way. Purdue locking in the Skarner as first pick. I mean, Skarner's just found value on both sides of this game. You want that Skarner, and I mean, you want that Renekton as well. 2 champions that have just proven time and time again to be absolute juggernauts. And speaking of juggernauts, we got that Sejuani being hovered.
Yeah, I have not seen Sejuani so far in this series, but against 2 tanks, Renekton, Skarner, you want to have someone who's good in that early game brawl, and Sejuani's probably one of the best champs with her passive, especially with a melee top and mid laner, would make it very easy for that Sejuani to play around those early game fights. It's going to be locked in, and Jinx left open. Might get it here in this game 5.
They forgot. They banned the Karthus, they banned the Graves, and they banned the Gragas, funnily enough, even though they've been finding a lot of success on that. I was going to say, I wonder if this is flipped, but no way is this flipped. Those are the same bans. Yeah, Neela left open, but I think Jinx is a much better play. You have that area denial. You can root it down. Sure, if they close in that gap, it's very tough.
Which is pretty easy for Nyla, who has 2 dashes.
That is true. But as long as you can lay down those grenades, try and play for the root, play just outside that range, it's dangerous. But if you can do it, I think Jinx wins this one.
That is true, but Nyla also has this ability which doesn't let you auto-attack her.
Oh, you're right.
And she just takes no damage, and it's very strong.
She can give it to everybody if she touches them.
It's a code. I don't know why nobody plays Nyla. It's a good champion.
I think it's because she has no good skins.
You think that's the reason?
Yeah, Star Guardian, Nyla. It's okay. I don't like the coloration on it too much. It's a little too red. I think pink would have been better.
Is there chroma for it?
I think there's chromas, but still, it's not the best Star Guardian skin in my opinion. Same with Coven Neela. It's probably her best skin, but it's not. It's not as good as the other Coven skins. I don't know. They're doing her dirty.
They're doing her dirty. Speaking of doing dirty, Xerath gonna be banned out. Syndra gonna be banned out. Tarek banned out from St. Clair. Very strong alongside that Neela, and Annie, very, very basic champion, but kind of strong at times. Worked out for Purdue last game. Gonna be banned out. Getting to our last 4 picks here.
The last 4 picks, probably the most impactful picks we have left in the game. I mean, the Saints, they're still looking for that top lane account, the Renekton. Ahri.
Good pick. Oh, Vex.
Or the Vex. Vex probably a better pick. Purdue found a lot of success on the Vex.
I mean, I don't know. Both champs kind of strong. I would say Ahri's maybe a little bit of a better pick, but it seems like Purdue have a bit more comfort on Vex. So for that, their specific scenario, Vexes look good in their hands, and they're going to pick that one up. St. Clair now have the choice to pick up their last 2 members here. They might go for another top laner here. Instead of putting the Yone into the Renekton, let the Yone play against the Vex. And Leona, the stable support that we've seen every game this series, going to continue that trend. 100% pick rate, I believe, in this series of St. Clair are going to be the ones to pick it up. And let's see what the side of Purdue decide to do with their support. They can pick Nautilus. It's really good with Nyla. Wouldn't be too shocked about that. Maybe something weird like a Blitzcrank. It's going to be Swain.
Swain DC is actually pretty strong right now.
Swain. It's not Swain DC. They have a Jinx.
Oh, you're right. Swain mid?
Swain mid?
I think it's Swain mid. Swain top, not viable.
Not viable?
No.
Oh.
It's not. You could do it, but it's not good. Swain mid is probably actually one of the strongest mid lanes right now.
Weird.
It's they gave a lot of buffs to Swain.
Oh, Zillion's
Zillion's not bad.
Yeah, Zillion's good.
Zillion's very annoying actually.
Zillion is very good.
If you land those R's overall, wild draft.
Yeah, I mean, this is a draft. Like, what is going on here? You see so many champs. You're like, oh, wait, this. I never seen this champion.
They're all good.
They're good.
We haven't seen them play some of these champs. Like we haven't seen Swain. We haven't seen Jinx.
Zillion.
Zillion.
How often do you see Zillion?
Not often. Not often enough.
Yeah,
to really put something in here.
Definitely not often enough because that champ's kind of good.
Very good. Very, very good.
I don't know.
Just the ability to cancel out a death is absolutely insane.
It is. I absolutely agree. And especially since Nyla won't take damage from auto attacks, then when she gets to low HP, Zillion ult. I mean, it's going to be kind of
Zillion all
not fun to play.
Not fun at all, but I know the next coming game is going to be very, very fun. So just wait. We're going to throw it over to a very quick break and be right back with Game 5. And now with a decisive Game 5, Purdue Gold back from the brink, bring this all the way home. They have to Renekton once again, and honestly, this is looking dicey. Swain mid, kind of an unexpected pick, but on paper should be one of the most impressive mid lanes we've seen all day.
Yeah, and Swain got a rework not too long ago, so definitely not something Purdue Gold were probably too ready for. And something that they might not be ready for is this 5-man bot lane action. But there's a ward in here. This will not get anything for the side of St. Clair. They will get spotted out on the ward. And in the meantime, I mean, Purdue Gold could look to attack the top side of the map.
I mean, they very well could. Yeah, they got found out completely. I still think they're sneaky. I mean, what are you going to do against 5 players, though? You're going to really take your guy down from top lane?
I mean, unless you have all 5 members there, you don't do anything. But if you do, I still think you don't do anything. I think
try and waste their time like this.
Yeah, I think St. Clair, their level 1 is definitely a lot stronger than Purdue. So yeah, I think this Zilean might throw one more bomb in this bush. I mean, this Yone is going to be so late to lane. I mean, this is just terrible start for the Saints.
You just pop TP at this point, cut your losses.
You do not want to
just go in there, just get back to lane ASAP.
He's just running across the whole map.
He's going for a tour, you know. It's good to see the sights. You might not see him again.
Good travesty.
You might be locked up there for the rest of the game because of this one misstep.
I mean, that is just not something that should happen in the Game 5. Just simply said, when it's everything on the line, a win or go home, grand finals or nothing. You just kind of go for a stroll around the map. You're behind CS. Now this Renekton will have prio for a very, very long time. It's just not the start you want.
Not at all. And now, yeah, this Yone going to be able to apply a little bit of pressure there. We still can't jump on this Renekton. It's an alligator, and that alligator is going to bite real hard if you jump down on him.
Is it an alligator or a croc? I thought it was a croc.
You might be right. I think he's a crocodile. My bad. I'm not the best zoologist here.
Hey, me neither. I don't know these animals too well, but I think I just heard people calling him croc before, so I actually don't know. It's just a complete guess. Yeah, Yone is just not going to have a good time. Level 3 by the Renekton here. Look at the damage. I mean, this Yone is getting cooked. He's getting completely cooked. And
yeah.
I mean, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. If the Skarner moves up the top lane quickly, that's going to be a quick dive coming through.
You know what happens when they're cooked? That crocodile gets hungry.
Yeah.
Going to bite down real hard on that Yone. It's not going to be looking too good. The dash in by the Neela. The big stun. Zilean trying to get the lockdown here. Soa taking so much damage, but they can't flip it over because that W, the level 3, just too strong.
And another good trade from Purdue. Yes, they burn both of their summoners that aren't flashes, but they get the Jinx back. They get the Jinx. Is that a barrier? Yes, it is a barrier. And they get the Ignite. I mean, Purdue's bot lane has been playing relatively well this series. So has St. Clair's bot lane. I mean, bot lanes haven't really been the main emphasis for these games from either team. It's kind of been like the mid laners who are really fed. As we're going to see a quick trade here from this Skarner. Badger Grimes only level 3 here. Isn't level 4 yet for some reason, and has to take this blue buff right in front of the Skarner's nose. Might look for it.
Look for it to get some damage in on them. Can't quite get it. The invade is absolutely crazy by the Skarner. It's not looking very good for Badger Grimes. That Sedge doesn't have the tools necessary
that's
to
so
deal
bad.
with that.
That is so bad. I mean, level 3 Sejuani. She's going back to base stats Sejuani, by the way, so she won't hit level 4 until about 5 minutes in this game.
No gank.
That is just complete travesty. And Purdue, I mean, they are playing perfect League of Legends. It was off a bit of a misplay, I would say, from this Yone, but he's gonna get stunned up and he should get taken down for first blood. It's gonna be Purdue Gold, as I said, off of that one tiny mistake led to that kill. Now the Yone will be forced to TP back.